You know, I never have lotion on my hands. So thirsty. I hope this doesn't fall while I'm driving. Hmm. Giving people a time to come in. Oh my God. This may come off. Hmm. Oh, I know what to do. This little stand thing is terrible. That's why I bought this. Should I put it here? No. While I'm driving, I will do it here. I bought this particular clamp on purpose because of the way, giving people time to come in because of the way that it clamps. Because that ain't gonna work. Maybe if I do it. Can I do it this way? This is a new phone case. Can you see me okay like this? Because that's the stable way to have this while I'm driving. Thank you. You like my glasses? These are actually seeing glasses, and you know I got to do something different, honey. Hmm. Just get myself situated. I am making a trip to the nail supply store because I have not been. The view is good? Okay, good. Because I have not been in a while and I need to get some things. It's not anything emergency wise, but just some things I want to get. And so I haven't driven this car. Um, just some things I want to get and I want to expand on. I titled this Transparency. Um, the best thing you can be in life, the best thing you can be with people, friends, family, clients, whoever, is transparent. We don't have enough transparency in the world. We don't have enough transparency in the world. And I've always been that way. Like, I don't say what I need to say to make you feel good. I say what needs to be said, and I say it to be fair to myself and without ill intentions towards you. There is not enough transparency in the world. And this kind of translates over to our clientele. Um, what do I mean? If I'm not honest with how I feel about a client relationship, then what am I doing? I am stressing myself out. I am giving myself anxiety. Like, I see nail techs all the time saying they have anxiety when certain people come around. Well, that goes in general. That's because you're not being transparent and handling the situation. You're not being transparent and handling the situation. The first thing you have to do is be honest with yourself. Hey, do I even like this person? Is this a person I want to be around? Is this a person I even care to get money from? You know? If not, then you got to step up and you got to do something to neutralize the situation and take care of your own mental health first. Okay? You know, I just find that people, I'm going to say most people may disagree, but most people, because I sit back and I watch, most people do not say how they really feel to who they need to be saying it to. Most people feel a certain way about certain things, and they kiki in people's face and smile in people's face, and they say how they really feel to other people. And that is the silliest shit ever to me, because how is that solving the situation? I see people do that in everyday life. That's how gossip starts. That's how all these things start, because people will say, oh, even in relationships, oh, he does this, he does that, he does this, he does that. But then you see her around this guy, she just act like he's the love of her life. And I just think that's the stupidest thing ever, because how is that helping you? Basically, that's being fake. We have to be real with how we feel about things and just stand up in our own adulthood and handle it. You know, even with these clients, if you don't feel good about a certain situation with a client, you handle it. We cannot be afraid of people. We cannot be afraid to lose people. Let me tell you something. My life got the best it's ever been since I became afraid, not afraid to lose anyone. You know why? Because if I lose a person that fast, they weren't there in the first place. And I really need you to see and hear what I'm saying. I know this is a weird view because I'm driving, but if you lost a person that easy, they were never there. They were never in it in the relationship in the first place. You ever had somebody in your life who you said something or you had a discussion that was uncomfortable and then they just stopped talking to you? Well, guess what? They were only in it for the benefit to them. They weren't really in the relationship because they truly cared. They were. If they left that easy, they were not into you. Clients, I've seen clients that will say they love you to death. They love you to death. And then you have to check them one good time on something, or I ain't gonna say check them. I'm not even gonna use check them because we are all adults. I'm gonna say the one time you have to charge them a fee for no call, no show, or something like that, then they mad and you never see them no more. Or they do little passive aggressiveness, which is funny to me, like they'll disappear for 6 months. It's almost like they're punishing you for enforcing your rules on them. Y'all don't understand. You have to be transparent to set the tone in the relationships that you have. When you do that, you will get a lot of clarity as to where you really stand with people. You stand in a good place with a lot of people because you're bending and it's to their advantage or it's where they want you to be. You're in position. But once you get into position and it's for your best interest, you'll see that a lot of people will shift away from you. It will give you so much clarity. It will make you move easier. It will have you rule out toxic people in your life. It will have you rule out people who are not really there for you. It will have you rule out people who are just coming around just to see what they can see. You know, it'll rule out clients who really they not there. I mean, like just treat them as is. If they come in, get the money, charge them what you charge them, and send them on about their way. Some of them are not. We think some of them are friends. They're really not friends. Some of them are just simply clients, and they kiki and talk with you because they feel like you're gonna do their nails better or you're gonna get them a hookup the better the conversation. Some people feel that way too. They feel like, you know, they're kind of playing you in a sense. We have to be transparent. Be transparent. Do what's best for you. Do not be afraid to say what it is. And I'm gonna even move on to personal relationships. I'm gonna tell you something that I've noticed, just period as a nail tech and just being a woman here on this earth. People, a lot of people are not in real friendships with people. Okay, we call everybody a friend, and that is something that is very rare to have. For real. Because I see people all the time talk mad shit about people and then be around them saying that they're the best friend, they're this, they're that. But then when the person's not around, they don't talk like that's their best friend. You know, like they say, really the best friend is the person who's going to defend you and never have anything to say if you're not around, or they won't let anyone else talk about you. You know, if somebody else tries to badmouth you and talk about you, they're going to stand up for you just like you were standing there. But I find that not to be true. I find that not to be true. I find that a lot of people in these relationships, people are not truly transparent. And that's because they're not being transparent with how they feel to that person's face. And so they can say how they really feel to another person. And that's being like fake. That's being fake. That's not being transparent. And I personally, it's not easy for everyone, but I try to be transparent with people to their face because I see it in my family. People are not transparent and say what they got to say to the person's face. They'll smile and act like everything is good or they agree with everything, and then they say how they really feel when the person's not around. It's something that has to be practiced to be more transparent person. To me, transparency is being real and honest with who you are and how you feel, and not not being opaque with people. Opaque is what? Not see-through, not transparent. Being opaque with people. Being opaque with people is usually done to get along with people, to be included with people in the group and all of that, but not really being your true authentic self. It's a way to say what you got to say, It's a way to say what you got to say and do what you got to do to let a person know where you stand with something. It should not ruin the relationship. It should not ruin the business. If it does, now you know the relationship wasn't what you thought it was. And I guess that's what I had to say on that, because I just noticed a lot of sideways stuff, and I cannot stand that, because anybody who knows me know I am very straightforward and transparent, and it's too much for certain people. And I don't give a rat's ass, because you can't say I ain't say it. I say it exactly how I feel. How do you feel about it? Clients know, everybody know. I just say what it is, because I used to have severe anxiety holding in stuff and just letting stuff get to me. I let it out and I let it be known how I feel, and then my conscience is clear. I feel good. I can tell you that I feel better these days than I ever have. And it may be fewer people around, but I don't really care, because I enjoy myself and I'm happy, and my conscience is clear. Don't you let people give you anxiety. Don't you let people give you anxiety, because they will. I'm just saying. And a lot of people were like, how does this relate to nails? I said how it relates to nails, but it's going to relate across the board, period, when you start dealing with friends, family, all of that. Because a lot of you all, too, not being transparent in how you feel, are sitting there doing all these free services, stupid, steep discount services for people, and you really don't want to. You really don't want to. But they got you in a trick bag and a guilt bag, and so you do it, and you really feel some sort of way about it. People be feeling some sort of way about all kind of stuff, and most people do not stand up for themselves and say what they really mean or what they got to say. If you keep being that doormat for people, they will keep taking as much as you give it. They will take it. Yes. So that's, hey Sarah. So that's how that translates into nails. I know for a fact there are so many people doing family, especially, because they are the absolute worst. Family and friends that just take it. You know who you should be giving and hooking up? Your regulars. Your people who come to you and they pay you and they tip you and they treat you well. Those are the people that I only feel like I need to always do something for. You're not going to emotionally guilt me into doing anything. I used to let people do that. Now I don't. And then people be mad at you because you standing up for yourself. I'm now transparent in how I feel. I am being transparent. If you really like what I do and you really want to see me succeed in life, come and pay the damn price. How about that? Then they get quiet, never mind. People love to go never mind. Let me tell you something about that word, never mind. When people start going never mind, that's because they know you're right. And most people cannot admit when they're wrong and that you're right. And so they start going never mind. Don't worry about it, never mind. That's a scapegoat for people not admitting that you're right and they're wrong. They have no rebuttal for how you feel because you're right in how you feel. And until you all start speaking up and being more transparent with people, you will be in these awkward situations where you're getting the short end of the stick and letting people just take from you. I have given so much to people. I say what I got to say to people, but I really have given a lot, done a lot. So I don't, there's very few instances where a person can guilt me on anything these days. I will teach a person how to fish. I'm not going to catch the fish for you. I don't even like to loan money. I will give you some and let's figure out a plan on how to get the rest. I've always felt that way. Every time I loan somebody money, it has turned out disastrous or awkward where I got to ask you, if you owe me money, why should I have to ask you when you're going to finish paying me? You see what I'm saying? People gung-ho. Let's talk about borrowing money. People gung-ho when they want to borrow the money. They just so enthusiastic. Yeah, I'm going to give it to you on the 15th. I'm going to give you this on the 15th. And I'm going to give you this. And then once they get the money, you got to harass them. See, that's why I don't loan people money no more. Because now you done made it awkward. And then I see you out at the bar, or I see you, doing stuff that requires money. And you now I gotta ask you. And then they get an attitude with you because you asked them. That's because there was no real transparency. There was just only fakeness up front to get something out of you. So I'm the person, I'll give you this much, but we're going to help you come up with a plan for that much. And usually those people disappear because most people in this world want things given to them and they don't really want to work for it. They don't really want the responsibility of it. They think you got it. And so you should just give it to them off the GP just because you know them. That ain't how the world works with me. If it works with you like that and you feel some type of way, that's because you are allowing it, because I don't allow it. And you know what? You'll notice people start dropping off, disappearing. I do not care. Thank you for giving me some transparency on how you really feel about the relationship. Because I was feeling slighted in a relationship. Yeah, you say your sister shows up at your house just to tell you she's getting her nails done. See, that's what that booking link. No use the booking link. And I don't see, this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about. Being transparent with people. You have to start out being transparent with people because it's going to turn into an argument later. I have a booking link, and for some reason, people who think they know you or are related to you, they feel like they don't have to use the booking link. But here is the ha, and where people contradict themselves, because if you support my business and you so happy for me, why won't you even follow the rules of my business? That's the very least you can do. Instead of imposing the way you want to do things on my business. I'm trying to do this. If you respect what I do, why won't you follow the rules like everybody else? See, let me tell you something about a lot of friends and family. A lot of them, they only want to support if they get in a hookup. They only want to support if you give them special preference. And let me tell you something. I'm going to be real transparent. To me, that's insulting, because you go and support the strangers and you do whatever they say, you pay them whatever they charge. So why is it with me that it has to be conditional? Why does it have to be conditional? Why is it conditional for you to support me? It's not conditional when you go and spend money with others. You do what you got to do business with them. But with me, it has to be conditional. I'm not saying me, I'm just talking in general. Because when I post these videos, it's reaching somebody. But you all need to get your mind right. Because a lot of people, they want to be in business for themselves. But if you are not a strong-minded person, you will get ran over. And you will not make no money. Okay? So you said, what is my opinion on same-day appointments? I don't do same-day appointments. Never have. And that's another thing. I'm very transparent about that. And I have people who have tried to reach out to me like, hey, you got something today? No. I never have anything that day. You know why? Even if I do have something that day, I don't have something that day. You know why? Because you have to be transparent and set your ground rules from the beginning, because you are showing them how to treat your business. My books close down 24 hours, I think. So 16 hours before. If you start letting people do that, that is what they will continue to do. They will stop booking and they will just call you whenever they feel like and say, hey, can you get me in? Now, if you're okay with the hey, can you get me in type of business, then that's on you. But what's going to happen is you're going to burn yourself out. You're never going to be able to make any plans to have a damn life because they're running you now. And see, now you start training people that, hell, you don't work any particular hours. It's just like getting where you fit in. You need to kind of be transparent up front to say, you got to let me know in advance so I can plan my day, because I only work between these hours and those hours. There's been very few instances where I tell people they can come in that same day. I don't do that. I don't. Because you know why? I always, when I get my email telling me what my day is like, I've already planned what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. And I don't want people manipulating that, because see, what'll happen is you'll get less and less people booking, and you'll get more and more people, okay, can I come in right now? And then you can't plan anything, because now your money, let's get into it. Now your money is lopsided. Yes, now your money is lopsided because you don't know what it looks like. So now you got to sit around and start hoping that people reach out to you saying, hey, can I get in today? That's what you don't want, because now you got to leave your schedule open to see who's going to try to come at the last minute. To me, that is not to any business person's advantage to do that, unless you're in a walk-in salon. Basically, what you're doing is you're going from books to walk-in. And I don't like walk-in, because if you want to get in, I need to know. So I got a life too. You will start to be burned out if you have no life. It is so easy for us in the beauty industry not to have a life. It is. You will quickly see that you don't have a damn life. I've been in this over 30 years. I'm telling you, you have to put some balance in there. And I do it not to be bossy. I do it to keep my schedule life-work balance. I need to keep life-work balance. And so I never want people to think they could just call me that day and get in. It is so rare that happens. I be taking naps. I got other businesses. You know, I don't just do no nails. And I got other things I need to tend to. I might need to run to the post office, make some calls. You know, my day is already planned. Even if I have a 2-hour gap in between, it's something I'm doing in between that time. I got to stock supplies. You know, I got to wash towels. I got stuff to do. So that's my little old opinion on why same-day appointments is not cool for me. And I don't want a clientele who starts to do that to me, because you will find that your schedule will get stretched the hell out and you will have less personal time. You kind of got to train people. Like, yeah, I need to book this in advance, and I know she don't work this day, or I know her book's closed about that day, and they'll make arrangements. They will make arrangements. It just depends on the type of clientele you want. I think that some people do feel this way, but they have a hustler mentality, and I'm a businesswoman, and there's a difference. So some people just want to grab all the money. Well, you missing money. Honey, I'm running a business, so at the end of the day, I know how my business runs, so I'm still going to make money at the end of the month, and I made it the way I wanted to make it, and the people who were with it got in line. You get what I'm saying? That hustle mentality will burn you out. I've been there so many times for years and years and years. And then that's when I end up leaving nails. Because I let people burn me out and being too nice and too flexible. So this time around, I'm telling you, it's really nice because I have way more control. I've been way more transparent with people, and I have not been afraid to let people go, because I always know that it balances out in the end. I can't read all of this. So yeah, I just want people to do that, like, be transparent. I'm going to address something else really quickly. Because I get a lot of comments on the same thing. You forget I got like over 100 and something videos. So comments come in all day long over these videos from all over the world. So I get a lot of newbie nail techs that say they want to do this, and they've bought this stuff and they've gotten stuff. But this is my advice to people who want to become or get in this industry and they cannot necessarily get into school right now. Seriously, this is real talk, and this is business. It's no emotion in business. I keep saying that. No real emotion in business. If you can't get in school right now, I guess my first question is, can you polish a nail? Can you do a manicure? If I came over to you right now, can you give me a manicure that's spa quality? Because I noticed that people go out and buy acrylic and drills and UV lights and shit, but ain't nobody went and bought pairs of nippers and pushers and stuff to do a basic manicure to even figure out they know how to do the fundamentals. Like, that's stuff that you can start teaching yourself. That's stuff that you can start practicing on yourself, your family members, your kids, whoever's around you. If you can't polish a nail and do a decent manicure, if you can't, do you even know how to nip a cuticle? Can you nip a cuticle properly? Do you even know what to cut? And if you say, well, that's why I'm getting to school, guess what? It's so much free information out here right now. What's stopping you? Because let me tell you something. I was a self-taught nail tech. I taught myself everything. By the time I got to school, I already had a clientele. It was just a formality to get the license. You get what I'm saying? That was back in the 90s. But I'm saying, like, what are you doing with all this free information, with YouTube, with Google, all this stuff? What are you doing to teach yourself even the basics? It's not a good thing to want to skip past learning what the heck you are doing on a small fundamental basis and want to skip to the fun part. I keep saying the same thing, and I keep reading the same comments I feel no type of sympathy for you because you're doing exactly what I say not to do, and you're trying to force your way to 0 to 100. 0 to 100. You haven't even started 0. Everybody just go out and buy some stuff when they get a few extra dollars, and then they just I want to learn how to do acrylic and designs. That ain't how this go. Can you polish a nail and stuff like that? Can you? Like, seriously, can you polish a nail? Don't say yeah because you know how to polish your nails, because I bet you it'll take you forever to even polish your own nail. Polishing other people's nails perfectly, spa quality, there are steps to it. Do you know about capping? Have you looked up any videos about capping the nails and how to properly hold and angle your brush, the pressure? You know? Do you know what to do for nails with ridges? Do you know how to push back the cuticle? Can you polish a person's nails who have like really small nubby fingernails? Can you do those basics first? That's when I believe a person is serious about doing this, when you break yourself down at the table and put the acrylic to the side for a second and learn the basics. Learn the basics. You know, doctors don't just say, oh, I got my scalpel and I got the new hottest gown. I got the 100 count thread gown. I'm ready to do surgery. No. They go through years and years and years of training and residency, and it's many years before they even touch a body themselves. They're assisting for years. They're monitoring for years. When they're sitting in on surgeries, they may get to hold the clamp. They may get to cut right there after so many years. You get what I'm saying? I'm not saying we're surgeons, but we are cutting on people. We're using sharp instruments on people's skin. People have the conditions and all of that. And have you even taken time to learn about the serious part of onyxology? Because we are onyxologists. Everybody want to say nail tech. We're onyxologists who get our license from the same state board as they do. Like, that's what I'm saying. And it's not just one person. I see that all the time. I bought acrylic, I bought a drill, I got a light, I got some colors. Nobody will show me. You can show yourself, but before you jump into 0 to 100, how about let's focus on 0. Nobody ever says, I got me a couple of pair of nippers. I finally found one that I like that feels comfortable in my hand. That tool is just as important as your acrylic brush. How are you doing nails and you don't even have decent nippers and stuff? How? You can't be, because you're skipping from 0 to 100. I'm a transparent person. If you get your feelings hurt, then this industry gonna hurt your feelings even more when you get out there and realize how much you don't know and you ain't making no money. Because see, a lot of people look at us and they see that we're doing nails and we're putting glitter everywhere and we make money and all this stuff. So they just want to jump right in because they think, oh, I'm gonna be making that much money. Just give me 6 months. No, you're not. There's so much to this. Some people do, because there are some people who are naturally gifted. There are some people who is just their calling on this earth. But anybody can learn the skill. Those of us who are not natural, it was a natural gift for me. I've been doing it since I was in grammar school. But anybody can learn the skill, but not most of you all are not going to be able to skip to 100. I'll probably get some thumbs down this video, honey, but I don't even care. It didn't face me. I'm just saying, like, that's why a lot of people, like, you know how a person will say, I want to do something and nobody's taking them seriously, because in order for people to take you seriously, you, no one else, you have to break down and do the work. You, because it doesn't take other people to do a lot of this stuff initially. People want to see that you have gotten down to the bare things and done these things without help from anyone. It does not take anyone for you to sit down and practice polishing. It does not take anyone for you to even perfect your manicure skills. You know, it doesn't take anyone. It just takes some models. So once you start doing that and people around you see, I'm about to go get some right now. I need another pair. Yep. And I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I think that's how I say it. Yep, exactly. And if I ask people who say that, they don't know nothing about it because they haven't even researched getting nippers. How are you trying to become a nail tech and you haven't even researched getting nippers? That's our main tool. That's the main tool, not the damn acrylic brush. Your nippers are. But you don't know that because you're skipping from 0 to 100. So, listen, when people see you sitting down and you practicing and you polishing and you trying to perfect your shape, can you even shape a nail? You talking about jumping into acrylic. Can you even shape a natural nail? Do you even know how to shape a natural nail? A person with little bitty nails, can you get into shape and get in them corners and get them, looking good and uniform across the board? Until I see a person doing stuff like that on their own, taking that type of initiative, I can't take you seriously. When people keep saying, oh, I just want to do a nails, I just want to do acrylic, you just want to do the fun part and just jump and skip all the way to step Z in this. Hey, Anthony, you want to skip all the way to step Z, but how are you going to last in this industry when acrylic cycles out? Because acrylic cycles in and out, and I've said this in so many videos, and a lot of you all have not been around it long enough to see, they cycle in and out. They cycle in and out over the years. Something will come out and everybody gonna jump back to the natural. When gel nails came out, gel, and they were calling it shellac, everybody took off their acrylic. Everybody and their mama took off acrylic and got shellac, because they thought shellac was something special, and shellac is nothing but gel nails. And then gel nails was in, and nobody was wearing acrylic. But if you want to sit there and just jump from 0 to 100, and you only know how to do acrylic, you know nothing about caring for natural nails, you know nothing about natural nail care, you will be starting out from 0, because you can't even really do a basic manicure. So you can't even get in on that gel money. I'm just being transparent, because most people I know personally and in the business world are not transparent. People are, and it goes to what I said yesterday in the live, people are passive aggressive, or they have an issue with something, they don't say it to the source. I'm telling you all, you got to get transparent in what you want. You got to be transparent with your current clientele. You have to have some rules in place and stick with them. And with the people in your life, you have to be transparent with them, so you are not walking around with a bundle of anxiousness because you hold it in, because you feel like you are giving too much and getting little. And Lauren said it, sometimes I get burnt out with acrylic and I just want to do petties. And that's another thing. So many people think I hear people all the time, I really want to do this. I really want to do this. I had so many people. Y'all don't even know how many people come to me all the time talking about they want to do this. My daughter want to do this. I want to do this. And I give them little tidbits on where to start. Do you think they even start? I never hear from them again. Some of them come back around a year or two later saying the same crap. Whatever. Because it's work. It's a skill. It don't come overnight. And most people, even the people who have claimed they want to do it, they started, and for 2 weeks they on it hard, night and day. I did it all day. I did 3 people today. And I'm like, okay, good. I ain't that impressed by it, because I already seen it. It's like, okay, come talk to me in 3 months. And then let me see what your skills are. 3 months later, they ain't even doing it no more. 3 months later, you talk to them and they like, oh, I got this new job, so I'm gonna do it. Because they ain't really want to do it. Most people that think they want to do it, they don't really want to do this. And like Lauren said, you get burnt out with all that acrylic. It looks fun to people on the outside. That shit is a lot of work. It's a lot of work, okay? It's not fun after doing so many people. It's like you have to constantly come up with ways to make these nails look a certain way. You got people spending all this money with you, and they demanding of you. They want the absolute most on their nail. It becomes draining. And like she said, I just want to do petties all day. I'm going to tell you something. When I was working for Elizabeth Arden and I did petties all day, that was the easier money. I made just as much as everybody else. I ain't going to say everybody else. I was like one of their top earners. I told you I used to win all the upgrade contests and everything. And all I did was pedicures all day, because I upgraded 90% of the people. That was easier money. But that's another thing. Nobody wants to do feet. I never have anybody coming to me saying, teach me how to do pedicures. Y'all sleep. Y'all sleep on feet. Y'all worried about touching some dang on feet, but y'all touching all these chicks' nasty ass hands. And you don't know where their hands been. They could have just had sex with somebody and barely washed their hands and stuff all up under their nails. Like, y'all don't know. They could have just changed their kid's diaper. And people don't even wash their hands properly. The proper way really to wash your hands is to get a scrub brush and scrub up under the nails. People have washed their hands all the time in a rush. But we so gung-ho on touching everybody's hands, but want to trip us out the feet. I'm just being transparent. This is real talk. But we so happy to touch people's feet. You're going to get sick touching people's hands before you get sick touching people's feet. And you wear gloves when you do feet, because people don't want to do feet. It's money in just feet. You don't even have to do people's hands. But nobody want to know that, because that's not fun, exciting, and it's not trendy. It's not trendy. Nails, feet are not trendy. They never trend. But if Cardi B and Meg Stallion, all them, and Kim Kardashian and all them started doing videos and putting their feet in the videos, somebody being a foot model, and that became a thing, and everybody started talking about their foot designs and the stones, then everybody will want to become a foot specialist. That's how it goes. And that's what people miss out, because you're trying to do what's trendy. You're trying to do something that you think is fun instead of trying to learn the whole craft so you can make money in all aspects of it. You never phased by any shifts in the industry. I'm just being transparent. If I'm not talking, if I'm not talking to you, you shouldn't be offended. I just be talking in general, because my videos stay up to infinity and it reaches people all across the world. If my videos, it don't touch you, it's touching her over there in Barbados. It always touches somebody. So I'm not talking to anybody in particular, but I'm saying, like, you all, I'm gonna be transparent. I want you all to learn this from the rooter to the tutor. If you say you want to be in this industry, you need to learn every aspect of it that you possibly can. Every single aspect, not just the acrylic, not just the designs. Every aspect of it. You can go work at your local hotel, your high-end hotel in town, and you can make a killing, have benefits and everything. But you got to know how to do nails. And now you got to take care of the wealthy women. The tips alone will sustain you. You go learn how to do some natural nails, you will walk out with 200 plus a day just in the tips. That's not even including your commission and or hourly pay. But nobody wants to know that, because that's not fun and trendy. Y'all missing out. A lot of you all are missing out on the real scope of what this business can offer you. Don't be a follower and have a follower mentality. Want to learn this for real. You can have two jobs. You can be working, do your own clientele, and then you can go work at the spa 2-3 days a week and get benefits and everything over there from them. And that pays your rent or your mortgage. And then your personal clientele is just your spending money. But you got to be well-rounded enough to be able to do it that way. If you only want to learn this little bit, guess what? You're only getting this little bit of the money in the industry. You're only getting this little bit of the money in the industry, because you only know this little bit, and that's all you want to know is this little bit. I'm just being transparent. So, I read all these comments, and a lot of times I go through like once a week and I try to read, because it'll be like 300 comments. I can't respond to everybody's comments on all these videos. So I'll just like. But when I see a common denominator on something, then I say, okay, well, that's something I should speak to or make a case study out of. Okay, now I'll stop so I can read. Yes, I can't stand when people come to me talking about they want to do nails, but only want to worry about the designs. Girl. And then, this is the thing too. And this is why I get, some people may say I mean. Nobody has ever said that, but I'm like, they probably thinking that. I don't care though. Because when you start really trying to tell people something or give them some information about this as a business or as a real medical thing, they shut down on you and then they disappear. 99% of the people who have come to me, almost everybody who has come to me saying they want to do this have not, they need to do this yet. Who have really done it are the strangers who don't know me, who have found me online, and they pay. As soon as I tell them how much it is, which is a very fair price, they say, I don't care, I just want you to show me. And they pay the fee. It's a very reasonable fee to make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I don't charge $500, $600, $700. I charge like $100 a session. That's nothing. And that's absolutely nothing. They pay it, they come, they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And if you look on the website, you'll see the last testimonial I put up. She was like, first things first, she was using her drill in reverse. So in the first 5 minutes, I was able to teach her that. We had another video a while ago. First things first, she was using cheap product from Sally Beauty Supply. I don't know if you remember that. See, I can help. You're going to make your money, but if you are not willing to invest anything and you're not ready, those are the people who are doing well now. Those are the people who reach back out to me months later saying, you know what, thank you so much. My clientele has grown. This has happened. That has happened. Thank you. But people want something for nothing. That ain't how this go. It costs money to make money. And man, okay. Yeah, it's funny that people will come to me because people say they don't touch feet. And it's funny because I get people all the time saying, I was so glad to see that you do feet, because most nail techs, independent nail techs, don't do feet. And I don't know why we are into that. Y'all need to get over that. That is so silly to me. That might have pissed somebody off. I don't really care. I mean what I say. That's silly. That's silly. Unless you got a severe medical condition, that's silly. Get over it. It's part of our job. It's part of our. It is so crowded up here this week. Oh my God! Why did I come up here on a Sunday? I should go back home. I'm up here at the nail supply district, and this is the worst day to come up here because it's all the Asian grocery stores and all this stuff, and it's beyond busy, and there is not even anywhere to park. Yeah, and going back to the feet, I don't know why I guess people rather sit in a chair and do 9, 10 people a day on hands when you can really just do 3 people a day. And if you're doing their feet, you ain't got to work as hard. And people working hard, not smart. Hard, not smart. Hard, not smart. Get into it, honey. I done made just as much or more, and I do 3 people. You sat there and did 1,000,000 people. You done used all these supplies, broke your back, your hands cramping up, and you could have made way more doing way less. Can't park there. I'm gonna go down to this other place and see if it's so crowded. I don't know why I even decided to come down here on a Sunday. That was stupid of me. I need to come down here on like a Tuesday. That's what I should have did. Anyway, like you said, I'm at a light. Like you said before, why would I send my money out the door to someone else? That's what people do all the time. Yes. Look, I'm just being transparent. Thank you, Anthony. And for sensitive people, I probably ain't the one. I ain't the one for sensitive people, period. But if you know me, it's because I want to see you succeed. And me coddling you and being non-transparent, like most people, being fake and trying to be all nice. Being nice ain't always helping you. I need to be transparent with people because you're going to make money if you get into it. Sometimes you need somebody to put the light the fire under you and tell you the truth. Tell you the truth. I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what they need to hear. And to me, that separates the people who I ain't gonna be able to park. It's so crowded up here. I think I'm gonna go home. It's too crowded up here. I can't even get in these parking lots over here. I'm gonna come back another day. I tell people what they need to hear. And I've had deep conversations with friends. Don't tell me what I want to hear. Tell me what I need to hear, even if it stings. I've had friends tell me things that have stung, and it stings for a minute. I'm like, ugh. But then I'm like, you're right. And it lit a fire under me to change some things. That's real. And I'm just going to be real with you. You know, you want a fake person, go find one of these other fake plastic channels. Like they'll be real light in the voice. They'll talk really light to you. And they'll say, you guys, it's not hard. Just do whatever it is you want to do. Just keep going and you'll get there. Just keep going and you'll get there. That's not saying anything. That's not saying anything. It's fluffy and it makes you feel airy. That's all the hell it is. It ain't helping you really get to the bag and get to some get to some real clientele. Get to some real clientele. Hold on. You said nasty ass hands be smelling like weed and food, whatnot. Yep. And even when people go wash their hands, they kind of just rinse over their hands, and then you start touching them and pushing back the cuticles and drilling. Here's another thing: you start putting that drill on these people's hands, and when you're drilling, what is happening? Dust particles are flying in the air. That's why nail techs, we've been wearing masks before the pandemic. I always wear masks. I always have when I'm working, especially when I'm filing. When I'm filing, even if I pull my mask down, I always pull my mask up when I start filing because dust particles, microfine dust particles are flying in the air, and they get into your system and make you sick and all of that. But those people who just want to know how to do acrylic, you wouldn't know that because you haven't taken time to study the craft on that level. And you don't want to know it on that level because you just want to do zoinks. You'll be sick and tired and sick medically, not knowing what the hell you really doing. Yeah. So that I think that's what I had to say about transparency. I have become uber transparent. And some people don't like it. I don't care. 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 I feel better. I feel better. I feel great, actually. Got a lot of sleep. I don't care. So yeah, I think that's what I had to say about that. I just see so much. I just see so much. I asked people a while ago to go get some red polish and to see how their manicure skills are. I can take a person and tell them to do a manicure on me, and a manicure that's done by a real professional looks totally schmolily different from a manicure done by a person who doesn't do nails or don't know really how to do nails. Can you do that? That's something that anyone can do. And most women have polish at home. Get you a good nail file, get you some good nippers, good pushers, and start perfecting that. Because shoot, you can get a great spa job as soon as you're done with school. Just doing that and make a killing. Do you know that the average spa charges women for the average manicure these days like $28 to $30 for a manicure that you can complete in like 20 minutes, and then that person's gonna tip you probably in a wealthy place, a wealthy, nice spot. They probably give you $8 to $10. So you just made, let's say, $8 plus, let's say the commission is 50, and let's just say it's 28. So 14 plus 8, 14 plus 8 is how much is it? 24? No, 22. No, wait, I'm trying to get over. $22. You just made $22 in 20 minutes. And when you work in the spas, they usually keep you on a time shift, a time schedule. So they'll book you 2 manicures in an hour. And so now you're making $50 an hour just polishing nails. We're not even talking about gel here. We're talking about regular polish. That's the price for regular schmegular polish. So now you're $50 an hour. Doing the glitter and shit. It's not that, but I'm telling you, that's the truth. Because when you get good, you're gonna do it in like 20 minutes. You're gonna get 10 minutes to clean up and get the station ready for the next person, and check your books and all of that. Maybe run to your purse and check your phone, and then you're ready for the next person. That's how people who don't even. That's just that. You do gel. The gel is gonna be 6:35 minutes. Really, if you really, most women who come into those spas, their nails are in perfect condition anyway, so you can just kind of glide through the motions. And you're making way more than that an hour. Huh. I've said this in the video before. People sleep on the basics. That acrylic, like Lauren said, will burn you out after the first year. And everybody start hopping in your chair, and friends and family burning you out in the chair, want to pay you pennies. You could have really been in the spa looking beautiful all day and eating apricot slices and shit, and drinking cucumber water and doing these rich, wealthy people and making way more money. Because I'm telling you, doing them is so easy. Most of them get their nails done every week because they don't have anything much to do. It's part of their self-care. And this is what they do. And their nails are usually in perfect condition already. You look like, why are you getting a manicure? But to them, they always say, oh my God, they're so terrible. They're terrible. Oh my God, just take care of me. My name used to be Ruby in the spa. Just take care of me, Ruby. Oh my God, I couldn't wait to get here to see you. How have you been? And you just have this la-di-da conversation and drink cucumber water with them all day, and they pay you. I used to love getting my tips. We'll walk into the front desk, they pull out these little envelopes, and shoot, I would get like 15 envelopes sometimes. Sometimes they don't do them every day. 10, 15 envelopes, $20, $20, $30, $40, $8, $10. Nothing under $8 for doing la-di-da services with polish. Not even gel. Because I was doing feet with this particular spa I'm thinking of. We didn't do gel pedicures back then. Gel had just been introduced. They weren't doing it on the feet yet. I don't know. Shoot, easily a $500, $600, $700, $800 day. Huh? Day, not week. $800 day. It's very possible. Working with regular schmegular polish. Back then, my main concern on supplies was not no acrylic. It was having the best nippers possible and having a ton of them. Having a ton of nice nippers and pushers and clippers at all times. I wasn't even picking up that acrylic brush. I was killing it on the natural nails. It's ridiculous. I used to have a drawer in my house where I would just throw all the tips because I wanted to see. And I had a whole drawer, like a dresser drawer full of money. Just cash tips. Those were just cash tips. We ain't even talking about the credit card tips. Just the cash tips. It's money in this business outside of just doing acrylic. But everybody feels like they're not going to be able to do nails until somebody shows them how to do acrylic and designs. You say you're not sure if you're Googling the wrong. In Georgia, you might have to go look up in Alpharetta. They're going to definitely have them in Alpharetta. Dunwoody would have some spas. My girl was a manager. Well, I can't think of the name of it. Over there across from Perimeter Mall. What is that? Johns Creek. Over in that area. You got to go where the wealthy are. They definitely have spas. And people look at, this is another thing, people look at these little la-di-da spots that you never heard of and they sleep on them. They are sleep on them because those little spas that do like body scrubs and things like that, those they have wealthy, not even wealthy, just women who are provided for, have real provider husbands, not 50-50s, but real provider husbands, and they don't really have to work. They just take care of the kids and do little stuff, do whatever they want to do. And those type of women go to those little neighborhood spas and they get body treatments and stuff. They charge a lot of money too. It doesn't have to be a big name. And they will keep you busy. They will keep you busy as well. They will have you like booked. And you'll build a clientele even faster there because at those smaller places, it's just usually you and one or two other technicians that's servicing everyone that they bring in. And you'll have a decent clientele in 3 months. Like your books are regular. You know, Joanne's coming in, Susan, Amy, Tanya B's coming in. Then you have Lizette. Then you have Tanya L that's coming in. She's your last one for the day. And so you already know what they're getting. You already know what their hands look like. You know how easy breezy the day is going to be. And they always tip you the exact same amount every single time. So when you see your book, you're like, oh, another $350 day, $350 day for doing these little manicures. I'm not even going to say $350. I'm going to say, I don't know, $280. But you just did, it's a lighter book. It's 5 or 6 because you do a manicures, it's 30 minutes, right? So it's a lighter day, you know, whatever, but you still made this much money, whatever. It's money in this industry. It's money. I'm going to tell you what it is and what it ain't. Sometimes you got to travel out farther than you want to travel to. I've traveled as far as an hour each way to make money. When I worked for Elizabeth Arden, I worked in Oak Brook, which is like, it was like an hour away. and coming home, depending on what shift I was working, I couldn't even come straight home because the traffic was too bad. But I did it. I did it for a year because I had a contract in place I had to, honor. So I'm just saying, like, I get so many people all the time, and then people feel funny towards you. I don't really care, because I feel funny that you want me, and this is how I want you to think. Don't feel guilty when somebody asks you to do all this for them and they're not doing much of anything to help themselves. Buying that stuff isn't helping. To me, you helping yourself when you are sitting down and just practicing days in and days out, taking pictures of your work, trying to learn, and then having a plan in place, even if it means you got to go get a second job to go put yourself in school or whatever to get the certification. Then at that point, then it's like, okay, well, this person is really trying. They trying to make it work for real, for real. Let me get them a few tips and stuff. But at the end of the day, no one's gonna hold anyone's hand. That ain't how this world works. Nobody's gonna hold anyone's hand to make money. What was that? Okay, I'm gonna give you another example. I'm in a stock group because I do stocks, right? And in this stock group, everyone is always giving tips and tricks on stuff. Tips and tricks. I look so, oh my God, dehydrated. Tips and tricks. So people post stuff all the time, and people, like, I'm gonna give you an example. Hey, you guys, I'm thinking about buying stock XYZ. I did what due diligence I could. I see this, I see that, I see this, I see that. Do you think I should purchase this stock? Right? And for that particular stock, then people will come in and chime in and say what they think, give them pointers, tips, and tricks, right? This person may have 58 different comments telling them their thoughts from more seasoned professionals, right? Helping this person decide if they should purchase this stock. That's one. Then in the same group, we have people that come in, like a girl posted not too long ago. I just laughed at it and kept scrolling. She said, hey guys, I want someone to teach me how to do this for free. She said, this is how she said it. Is anyone willing to come on here and teach me a free class on XYZ, on how to do XYZ? I looked at it, I laughed, and then I went back and I looked at it. That person posted that over an hour ago, and no one responded. No one responded. Why do you think no one responded? That person was probably mad that no one responded. I'm going to tell you why no one responded. No one in the group responded because she was asking someone to teach her something for free. She didn't want to donate. She didn't want to do anything. She just wanted, basically she was saying, hey, teach me how you make the money you make, but I don't want to pay you nothing. Anybody willing to do that? And no one responded. But the person before showed that they were putting in some real effort, and they had did some research, but they admitted that they needed some help. And then that's when that person got the help from the people in the group. So a lot of people, you got person A, you got person B. Person B has a sense of entitlement, and they don't understand that people will help you when you are helping yourself. But it's kind of offensive to ask people to help you for free, and you coming out the door saying, I don't want to pay you shit. You, like you said, coming with your hand out on something, and you coming through the door saying, I see you making money. Teach me, but I don't want to pay you now. You're gonna have to do it for me for free. Why do people feel like people are obligated to do that? Do people even think about what people go through to get to where they are? Like, even in that stock market group, do you know how much money those seasoned professionals, including, I'm not a seasoned professional, but I'm saying I've lost money and I've made a lot of money, but do you know how much I had to go through to get to this point to find a good formula that's going to constantly make me money? Do you know how much I had to lose? Do you know how many hours I had to spend online researching and reading and trying to watch videos and get information, or classes that I have spent my money on trying to learn? It's insulting when a person comes through the door expecting you to give away your information for free. That is insulting. And the funny thing is, person B was probably like, they some haters. That's why I don't mess with people. I know how people think. That's why I don't mess with people, because people don't want to help nobody out. No, you know that is not how this goes. People will help those who help and who are helping themselves. Person A got help. It was a lot of comments, and the comments went on all day when people chimed in on her post, because she had shown that she was trying to help herself. People will help you, but nobody's obligated to just help you, especially when you come through the door saying, I don't want to pay you. Like, man, in the class that she was asking somebody to teach for free, people charged her like $1,000 for the class. And she was like, for free. I bet you if I go back to that post right now, it will be no comments up there. None. She's coming with her head out. They don't respond because she wants the easy way out. She don't want to put in the work. I don't like being lied to. Ask a question and I want a truthful answer. Okay, well, here go an answer. And this is how I truly feel. This is how I truly feel about all this, because I see it all the time. It is not just in nails, it's in life, period. Like, there's a problem, people give the solution, but a lot of times, just like with borrowing money, I'm going to help you try to figure out a way to get the money for yourself versus just giving you the money. Because me just giving you the money is not helping you, now is it? In the stock market, if I tell you what stocks to buy all the time, how are you going to learn how to make choices in the stock market? Because what if it crashes? Now you mad at me. You know, I run into this in the stock groups that I'm in. A lot of people just want to get the good stock picks. They just want somebody to tell them the good stock picks. They don't want to learn how to choose a good stock. You know? And successful people, real successful people in this business know that you got to put in a lot of work, and you're going to spend a lot of money, and you're going to waste some money. It's going to be some products that you buy. They're going to be crappy, money wasted. It's going to be some classes you take. You don't learn anything, money wasted. You know, it's going to be some times when you're doing stuff or whatever. You go work in a salon. Finally, somebody gave you a chance in the salon, and it was terrible. Salon owners tell you all the time that they're busy, you're going to make money. You go there, you set up all your stuff, you go buy all this fancy stuff. You're never making money. You're barely making the booth rent that they're charging you. You waste a lot of time in this business. So it's any old heads in here will tell you we have been through a lot to get to the point where we are. Do not ever think that a person got to the level of success that they are at just overnight. They and shit, like, come on, I help you, but I need to see you. How serious are you? Because buying the little bitty main supplies is not serious. That don't say anything to me. It's the other stuff that counts. Actually, you got to spend some money. I have classes online right now when people reach out to me in my inbox and they start asking me questions. And I'll give them a general answer, and they'll keep going back and forth trying to basically get me to give them a consultation for free. I charge for consultations. You know why? Because I can tell you stuff that's going to help you make more money and have a better flowing business. But I'm not going to sit down and take out an hour out of my day, because my time is money. I'm not going to sit down and take an hour out of my day. I'm not going to sit down and take 30 minutes out of my day to answer to a stranger or anyone and tell them how to make money, because you want to make money. So you got to invest some money to learn how to get more money, unless you do your own research online, you know. And people keep going and keep going and keep going, and I just stop responding. What I'll do is say, you need to book a consultation. And then guess what? People always say, okay, I'm going to book it. What's the link? Send it to me. And I send it to them. And do you think they book? No. People ask me questions about stuff, and I'll be like, here is a resource. Here's my class on this. Here's my book. Do you think they book? No. That's most people. And then that's when I say you ain't serious. Because if you don't want, you want me to help you. And I have resources already set in place to help you. And if you don't want to spend this little $40 or $50, you ain't serious, baby. Because $40 or $50 is the absolute least you're going to spend in this business. The absolute least. Ain't nobody out here giving out. People charging way more money for that. There are girls out here teaching classes, and they can't give you nothing but a certification, which is nothing but a piece of paper that they went to Office Max and printed your damn name on it. And they charge $500, $600, $700, $1,000, and you have a certification, which means nothing. So when a person, and if I tell a person, hey, here go $100 and I'll teach you this, I'm way cheaper than other people, and I'm way more experienced, but I'm way cheaper. And so if a person don't take my little cheap options, I can't take you seriously. You're not ready. You're not ready. You say you're ready, you're not ready. That's just me being transparent. You're not ready. You're not ready. You're not ready. You can't be ready. You can't be. You can't be. You said, I had someone say they're a single mother, can I get a discount? No, what I can do is, well, what's your budget? You know, that's my whole favorite word. What's your budget? Why should I take a short? Because I got shit going on in my life too. My light bill is due this. My car note due next week. Can you pay me more? Can you give me extra? Can you tip me? Because my car note due next week. So y'all see, you throw it at me, I'm gonna throw it back at you. My car note due next week. So can you tip me? Can you pay me more? Oh no, I sound crazy saying that, right? Okay, well, you sound crazy to me saying because you're a single mother, I should give you a discount. Everybody got stuff going on. I'm not a leper. I'm not this magical genie that just grant wishes. This is my damn job. How about that? When you get transparent with people, you will weed out a lot of mess. You'll weed out a lot of aggravation. So what? That person moved on. They was going to stress you out and penny pinch you to death any damn way. When you get your brand going and your work is good, your quality is good, you're consistent or whatever, you got to get some great people in your chair that will appreciate you, that will, whatever. And I'm not saying this about all people. I'm just saying I read all these comments and stuff, and these are my thoughts. It's transparency. The older I get, I'll be 44 in a couple of weeks. The older I get, they say the older you get, you care less and less and less. I used to care so much, and these days I don't care hardly at all. I be so unbothered and laughing. I say what I got to say, and I be laughing. My unbotheredness is on a level that's like scary to me, and I have to tell myself, Tanisha, you should care a little bit more. And then I start laughing because it's like in some situations I can't even force myself to care, because me being me and being honest and true to myself, it exposes a lot of people. And I just laugh because I'm like, okay, I see what it is. A lesson learned. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate ya. And this is the other thing too. I don't worry about those type of people always want a discount. See, about people always want a discount. They don't even tip. Because a person that's asking you for a discount, they definitely ain't trying to tip you. They don't even want to pay the price, so you know it ain't no tip coming. So anyway, I got some great people. And my regulars, I never really, to be honest with you, I just charge them kind of like the rate. And I just be putting extra stuff on them just because. They take care of me, I take care of them. They take care of me, I take care of them. That's what I want. I want that in all my relationships. You take care of me, I take care of you. Like, for real. Don't try to get over on me. Just be good to me. And I'm going to naturally be good to you, because I'm not going to take advantage of you because you're not taking advantage of me. I'm going to hook you up because you hook me up. Man, you said people have nerve, y'all. They really do. I run into situations all the time, every week. And I notice this as I've gotten older. I've been talking about this with some people. I walk around my house talking to myself all the time out loud because I have to get stuff off my chest, because people blow me all the time. And I have to get it off my chest because it's therapy for me to just talk out loud to myself, because I be pissed and annoyed. So when I finally do address the situation, I can address it in a much calmer way because I've got the anger portion off. And then that has kind of helped me to be unbothered. Like, Okay, it is what it is. Okay, you know, unbothered. I'm just becoming more and more unbothered because I just noticed a pattern. I just noticed a pattern that I was allowing in my life. And it's all the way around, even with a lot of, just growing up. Y'all done drove all the way. I didn't even go to the nail supplies. Too many people up there. I can't be bothered. In life, I let people show me how they are and the importance and who they look at me as in their life. And I don't, I'm just learning like, it is what it is. You can't change people, but you can change you. You can't change people, but you can change you. Once you start changing you, the people who matter, the people who care, the people who want to be in your life, they will adjust. They're going to adjust and they're going to disappear. That's it. I was bending too much. I was bending too much. And not saying how I really feel. And I know if I was doing it, a lot of you all were doing it too, or are doing it. You may not have as many people, you may not in your friendship circle, in your family circle, in whatever circle, but your peace of mind is everything. Don't worry about the money. It comes naturally. It comes naturally. Here's another thing that people try to do, and I can't stand this either. I'm so unbothered by this. People love to throw up the black card. If they don't stop it with that, I really want it. When people start saying that crap to me, I should send them my video. The only color I see is green. I have a video called "The Only Color I See Is Green," and I think people don't believe me when I say that. I don't care what color you are. Money is money, and my rules are my rules. My principles are my principles. I don't care about you being black. That's just me. People always try to say, you got to do a black. People may not agree with me on this. When it comes to business, I want to go with who's going to do the job good or who's going to pay me, and respect what I got going on. That's it. I don't care about that because I'm going to tell you the truth. And us with black businesses, half of us don't do business correctly anyway. We half-ass with it. So that's a whole nother conversation. But, I don't like when people try to throw that black card up on me. Like, it's bad when a sister wanna girl bye. This is a green conversation. It's not a brown conversation. It is a green conversation. And people will try to throw that up when you try to say what you got going on and how you do things. They try to say guilt you by saying, "Oh, we need to stick together as black." No. You ain't sticking together while you trying to short me and I'm sitting up here trying to figure out how I'm gonna pay my bills. No, you just said that because you can't get over or whatever. So go on with that. I hate when people say that. Somebody tried to say it's sad when black people can't come together and spend money with each other. We can, but you just mad because business is not being conducted in the way that you want me to conduct it. So now you're trying to throw up the black card. Do not let people guilt you with the black card. I am so unbothered with that one. To me, that's just like a person saying, remember earlier I was saying, whatever. To me, that's like you pulled out that card because there was no other rebuttal. So then you pulled out the black card. I support people that I want to support because I personally know them and I want to see them succeed. So I may support it that way, but I don't do it because it's black. And that's just me. I've said it so many times and I've had kind of headbutts with people about that. And I mean it. Because to be honest with you, I've had a lot of black people burn me in business as well, a lot. And I have a lot of friends right now who are going through stuff in terms of contracting and housework and losing hundreds and thousands of dollars that have been scammed, by black contractors. So whatever. And then we have to go out and get a Polish guy or a Hispanic guy to do the work because they have a better reputation in it. That might piss some people off too. I'm just saying what I see. The numbers and what I see don't lie. So we be wanting to do it, but I learned a long time ago, just go with people who's going to do the business and conduct it and give you what you want. See, I'm ranting. But that black card crap bothers me. The black card crap, I don't want to hear it. The black card crap is crap because we talking about green that I work hard for. To be honest, I told y'all my big salon, I wanted to have my sisters in there working. They was the ones that didn't want to come to work. The minute it's a slow day, they disappear, complain all damn day. Da, da, da. At the end of the day, I didn't even have any black employees, sadly. So I learned to just try to be colorblind. I'm going with who want to get this work, who want to get this bag. That's a real boss mentality right there. Take your emotions out of it. Who want to get to this bag? That's who I'm really willing to do business with. Boom. Let's go a little further. I said it before. I made the most money working out there in Oak Brook. I was the only black person there. All my clientele was 100% white. I'm going to say non-black because I can't say white because it was Indian, Asian, whatever. It wasn't black, and I never had any problems. I mean, you really want to go there? Do we really want to go there with the black card thing? Do we really want to have a real conversation? Because I could be real transparent, and it pisses some people off, and all they can say is whatever. Because I be telling the truth based off real life experience. With my people, I got to scratch tooth and nail to constantly prove my worth. Constantly. Got to constantly wheel and deal with my people to get them to spend some money. Constantly. I never had to do that when I was not in a African American environment. You want to have a real conversation? I ain't saying everybody. If this don't pertain to you, that ain't, this conversation ain't about you then, is it? If you don't do that with people, or you don't do that with me, then I ain't talking to you, am I? I'm not talking to you. I'm talking about in general, overall, with my 30 years in this game, overall, this is how it's been. Well, how much if all of us get it done? If I tell you that it's $50 per person, how much you charge? How much is it? I'm just saying. How much is it? It's $50 per person. This don't even have to be nails. It could be anything in business with us. Okay? Anything. It's $50. Why do we always got to come back and say, well, how much is it if we all get it done? Why is that question always? Yes, I was in Clubhouse. She had me moderating the room for like 2 hours. That's me. Yeah, this is me. I told you all I had a YouTube channel. Yeah, so why do we always rebuttal back with, well, it's going to be me, my sister, my 2 cousins. Well, how much is it if it's all of us? Why do we rebuttal back? That's sideways asking for a discount. This is what a lot of us are programmed to do. Automatically ask for a discount. If that person didn't show you a package or say something about they have a group discount, why do we do that? Because we're asking for a discount. This is what I run into with my people. I'm just going to be honest with you. And it don't have to be nails. It could just be in general. And I can tell you that this is just the way a lot of us are programmed. We're programmed, a lot of us, to try to see what we can get. So, the whole black card thing, I get it, but it's kind of like in real life for a real full-time entrepreneur, and that's somebody who do this play or whatever, or on the side. I'm talking about like this is your full-time job. You got to pay all your bills out of it every month. That sort of thing becomes draining. And so I always tell people you need to scale your business to a point where you can make money from everyone, if you can. You should, unless you have something very niche that's catered just to us. Don't just be like, I'm only going to make money with us, because you can be making way more money if you open up your mind and how you sell, who you sell to. Your goal should, to me, not be to sell to a certain demographic or do business only with a certain, a certain race. It should be to try to get a set clientele of people who appreciate your worth and will pay you your worth. That is the whole premise behind what I talk about. The whole premise. The entire premise of what I'm talking about. I'm driving. I've driven all over the city where I'm talking. I'm literally on a totally different side of town now. it's a little warm. I feel like I should turn on the air in the car, because if I turn on, let down the window, which I am, if I let down the window, it's going to be noisy. Somebody got to say it, but I get the best money from people who are non-black. And some people might be offended by that. But if it's not you, then this conversation is not for you. But us who do this all day long, it is sometimes a struggle, scratching and scraping to get people to recognize and just pay you your price. That is annoying, and it is true. I hate to say it. It's funny because I'm gonna tell you another little story. I had a home that I was going to, and I've told this a while ago, but I'm gonna say it again. I had a home that I was going to not too long ago, and that woman was paying me $100 an hour to come to her. And sometimes I would come to her, and I was coming to her like at one point every week. I could walk out that woman's house with $800 plus tip. But the average was like $400 or $500 because she would just have me there. And let me tell you something. She offered to pay me $100 an hour. We came. She's like, "Well, do you think that's fair?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's cool. Whatever." I didn't act excited about the $100 an hour because my agency at the time could give me close, but she was kind of, right there, whatever. But she had no qualms about paying me $100 an hour. And when I would come there, she wasn't trying to work me to death. It was just they like people to come to them. They didn't like to leave out the house. This particular family had people. Their day was a Sunday, so that was their family day. So on Sundays they would have the manicurists come in, which was me. They had a stylist that would come in. They had a barber that would come in and a chef, and they would sit up, and I've been to their home so many times. They would talk about what they wanted to eat that day, and people would come over and they would sit around and talk or whatever, and the food would be delivered by Amazon groceries or whoever they would order the food from, and they would have somebody there to cook it, you know. So I'm just saying, I never had any issues or problems, and sometimes I would be there for 3 to 4 hours, and I would only do a manicure or a pedicure. And she would be like trying to get the kids to get something like, "Hey, she's here, you guys. Who wants a manicure? Anybody?" And then she'll be like, "Just wait. They'll come down. They'll come down." Because they had a 4-level house. It was literally 4 levels. You could see all the way. It was gorgeous. Glass walls, everything. But I would just be sitting there on my phone, smiling and having a small conversation with her. Never once did she try to like fit everybody in an hour. You get what I'm saying? Like, people, a lot of people would say, "Oh, I'm going to give you $100 an hour," and then they would try to get you there and try to make you work like a darn slave in that hour. She never did that. I'm telling you, there would be times I would go there. I would only do a manicure and maybe her feet and just buff the top of her nails, and I would be there for 4 hours, and I would get $400 just doing that little work. So there are people out here who appreciate what you have to offer, you know, and it just becomes a struggle, and it's annoying when you have people that are the extreme opposite. When they are asking you to do the absolute most for $60 or something like that. It's like, do you know, like, people pay me quadruple, 10 times what you're offering me to do way less. Like, man, like, I made a lot of money with that lady. I made a lot. And that's just one incident where people will pay. I don't want people to feel like they gotta constantly be scraping and surviving and stressing themselves out and getting anxious. I read stories about all y'all getting anxious when certain people come around because they're stressing you out instead of trying to will and deal you to death. You don't have to go through all that with people. Stand your ground, be transparent, and be patient. Be patient and keep branding yourself. Keep making your business better and better and more polished. And I gotta put something in the post office. I got packages that need to go out, you guys. So I got them right here. Hold on. I told you all I got orders. Hold on. I'm just gonna drop this one off. Hold on. Ooh. Okay. Lauren said, I hate to say it, but it's true. And as you know, people get mad when I say that. People get mad when you talk about that type of stuff because you got a lot of pro black, I'm pro green. I'm pro green, I'm pro green, I'm pro green. And my family is not all black anyway, so I don't want to be racist. I am pro green. I'm trying to drive or whatever. So should you tip your nail tech and how much? Okay, so oh wow. See, that's the thing. And that's why I said it earlier. I said a lot of us are just programmed. It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it is a thing because a lot of us are just programmed. We were raised to hustle each other. We were raised to always look for the coupons, look for the, and I'm not saying this to you, but I'm just tying all this in. A lot of us were raised to always look for the sale, look for the coupon, always try to see if a person would do it cheaper. You get it? And so it's programmed in us naturally. And so your question is right on time because you said, should you tip your nail tech? So some people just don't know. Yes, you should be tipping anyone in the service industry. Anyone in the service industry. Meaning anyone like a server slash waitress, whatever. Even if you go to a hookah bar, people don't realize if you are at a bar and you are getting hookah, that is a service person. You're supposed to tip the hookah girl. If you are at a bar and you sit down in the section and somebody brings you your drinks, you're supposed to be served, even though she's not serving your food, you're supposed to be tipping her. See, what's the percentage? Because it looks down upon in different industries. What are you talking about? It's never looked down on to receive a tip. Mm-mm. You said all of my non-family clients tip. I only have two family clients. See what I'm saying? Even myself, I didn't realize that I didn't understand that because I came from a background where everything was like kind of, we were okay, but we weren't rich, you know. Um, I remember a long time ago, long time ago, I went to a restaurant. We went to a high-end steakhouse downtown. We would always go there because that was back then. That's when I was first started making a whole bunch of money doing nails. So we thought we were balling. And one night we said, let's go to this steakhouse. We went to the steakhouse. We ordered these expensive steaks. They're like $50 each or whatever. And we had a black server. It was a guy. I remember this. And when the bill came, we paid the bill, but we left him a $5 tip. But here's the thing. We thought we were tipping him properly. We thought we were tipping him properly. And I remember this because the guy, when he came to pick up the tab and he looked at how much we tipped him, he said something smart to us like, are you serious? Like that. And we were just like, what? I know he didn't. He better be glad, you know, that sort of thing. And at the time, I didn't realize it. We grossly under tipped him. There is no way in the world we should have been tipping that dude $5 on a bill that was like probably 150, 160. There is no way in the world. So how much should that tip have been? At bare minimum, even back then, the average tip back then was 10%. So the lowest amount we should have been leaving him was $15. And that would have been the bare minimum. And people who are used to going in nice restaurants know that. And so that's why he could not believe that we only gave him $5. We didn't know any better. Nowadays, the average tip, the standard has raised, and it is 18% and up. And it's really 18 to 22%. That is the current going rate. If your money is a little funny, you should still be aiming to give a 10% tip. That is those are the standards. You said even when you're like, no, they're like, shut up and take this. Yeah. Yeah. Now I get it. Not everyone has a tip to give all the time. But when you can, you should. And I'm gonna tell you something. I have clients too that say to me, where am I going? I'm just driving. Where am I? Okay, I need to drop off my niece's gift. It's in the trunk. I'll drop it later. I have clients that'll say to me sometimes, I will tip you today, but I just money a little funny this week. And I go, oh, no problem. And I really mean that because they always, you don't have to every time because stuff happens and people are on a budget. But just the effort that somebody really shows their appreciation for you, it still goes a long way. So when those people say stuff like that, I don't even feel any type of way. Like, she didn't tell me today. No, I'm like, girl, don't worry about it. And I really do feel like, girl, don't worry about it. You know why? Because I know when they got it, and if they liked it, they will take care of me. And I still take care of those people just the same. Meaning that I do things and I don't even, when I come up with the final price, I don't even calculate that. And I do that for all my regulars. I don't even calculate everything. My real regulars, I never charge them down to the penny on everything. And I don't even think they realize it. But I just, I just be like, oh, just give me this. And it'll be a flat amount. But it wasn't calculating everything. It wasn't. So with tipping, it should be done. It should definitely, I know where I need to go. I'm just driving all over the city talking to y'all, and it's not where I am. It is not where I am. It's someplace else. But yeah, that's how it is with tipping. I don't like going out to a restaurant with somebody and they sit up here ordering up all this crap, and then their portion of the bill is $65 while you sit up here ordering up 2 and 3 and 4 drinks plus your entree plus part of the appetizer. And then you just want to, if I say to you, they'll look at the bill and see their stuff came up to $60 and they would just want to hand me $60. What about the tip? Like, what about the tip? And then they say, well, how much should it be? That's when I realized a lot of people don't know, or they just acting like they don't know, or they hoping that you pick up the tip. I don't know, but come on now. You should be giving me another $10, $12. $10 or something. Give me an extra 10 because that's part of your part of the tip. And we really, people don't know. I don't know. I guess people just don't know. I recently got offered to come work at a Vietnamese nail shop. I've been doing hair, but it seems to be a good opportunity to make more money. Anything to be cautious with, highly thinking about it. If you are going to work in a Vietnamese nail shop, you got to be fast, else you won't make any money. Vietnamese nail shops work extremely fast, and you got to be quick, and they don't want you sitting up all day on a person's nails. You will not see any money. You will be skipped in the rotation. So that's something to be very aware of because they work on quantity, not necessarily quality. It's just enough to make it look decent enough for the moment. And so speed. So if you're taking 2-3 hours to do a set of nails with, just a plain set of nails, you're going to have a problem in there. You're not going to see any money. And you have to keep in mind that those salons do not charge like we charge. They charge a way lesser price because they're doing a way cheaper looking service. And it's more like just slapping the nails on. They're not trying to get it perfect to every finger. It's just like they're there, sort of thing. So just keep that in mind. You got to be able to work fast. So like I'm going to say, if you're going to go work in a Vietnamese salon, you want to be doing full sets in like 40 minutes. Like ready for polish or whatever, 35, 40 minutes. Like, can you move fast? I guess that's the question, because the focus there is not going to be designs. And you could say, well, some people may say, well, they know I do designs. They want me to come do designs. Okay, so here's the problem. Not necessarily a problem, something to think about. You're going to a discount salon. So those are discount clients with a discount mentality. So how much do you think you're going to make? How much more do you think a person is going to pay you in a discount salon to do designs? If they only pay $35 for the set, or $30 for the set, $28 for the set. Do you really, they're going to see your designs. They're going to expect you to put on all these designs for like $5 extra or $8 extra, no more than 10. It's going to be kind of hard to get people to get you to, because if you just look at it with like, if you go in there and you start doing designs, the design work, especially with stones, you should be charging, you know, per finger, $5, $10, something like that, whatever. And it's like the design's going to end up being more than the set. So how does that go too? It's some things to think about. So it's like, how are you going to work in the salon? How are you going to work in the salon? What do you mean? You spent $50, so it kind of confused me a little bit. What do you mean? I don't know what you're talking about. What tip calculator do you use? I took my nail tech when I used to get my nails done, but I did not know it was appropriate. Somebody recently said the percentage based off how much you spend, like 18%. Yeah, usually people don't get that technical. Usually I notice with hair and nails and stuff like that. I'm talking about more like in restaurants. If you ever go to a restaurant, even Applebee's or something cheap like that, at the bottom they have the percentages already clarified for you, like 10%, 15%, 18%, 22%. That's what you usually see. With beauty services, people just usually give a flat rate that they have in their mind that they give to their technician, period. $5, $8. I know somebody always tip me $8 no matter what. $8, $5. I have some people that do 10 and 15. I got a girl that tips me 20, 25 every time. And I was wondering, like, does she know how much the price is? Because she never asked me what the price is. She just always gives me like $20, $25 over. And I finally asked her, she was like, yeah, I know. I just, if I got it, I want to give it because I like you and I like your work. And that's what she said. So I was like, oh, okay. So I would say the average when it comes to beauty services, people, especially us, we try to at least give 5. But there are people who don't tip at all. And I have to assume that those people don't know any better. And I'm gonna tell you something. I stopped giving free stuff to those people because why? They're paying me for a service and I just give them the service and that's it, nothing extra. No offense, I just do. Because I was like, how is that fair for me to give them extra stuff, the same extra stuff that I'm giving to the people who do tip me? Why am I giving that stuff to the people who do tip me? I'm always hooking them up and I'm not charging them for certain things, but I'm giving that same thing to people who never tip me. So I was like, no, I stopped doing that. Because it's really not balanced. That's not balanced. That makes no sense. So that's because I had to start looking at it as a business. Like, stop giving away free time and free product to those who. Oh, they got the shrimp nibblers back. I'm hungry, you all. I'm just driving all over the city. Good afternoon. Welcome to West Castle. My name is Brandy. Can I take your order? Yeah, you got those shrimp nibblers? The shrimp nibbler? Yeah. What do you like first? Small, medium, or large? Let me get I want a small. Okay. And then may I have one double cheeseburger with extra pickle? That's it. One double cheeseburger with extra pickle? Yes. Okay. 626 window 1. Thank you. Thank you. So, yeah. So I wouldn't get too technically caught up in it, but what I will tell you, I learned that lesson when I go to a high-end restaurant. They are expecting they are expecting that you have the couth to know that. And that guy was so pissed at us that day we gave him $5. And I look back on that and I'm like, wow, that was cheap as hell. And I remember going to a restaurant one time. It was another high-end restaurant years ago. And a waitress walked away. She's like, this. It was like, I don't know if you noticed this when people come to a table and they see us, a lot of them, their face drops because they know that a lot of us don't tip properly. Maybe you don't know, maybe you're not paying attention, but I used to be a waitress too. I used to be a waitress for Red Lobster. Good you. And people face I've seen that. I had a girl mumble one time. It was a long time ago, like, this is what I don't like. I heard her say something like that, like, this is what I don't like. I knew what she was saying, but I just didn't get it back then. What card did I just give her? Okay. I'm just driving around the city and didn't even know where I was going. Thank you. Okay. So, yeah. So I was just trying to clarify. And then Lauren said, yeah, so actually, I don't know exactly what you are saying. I just want to be clear. It's a good place to start to get your footing. It's a good place to start out with, yeah, it's a good place to start out with to get your speed up, and you will learn a lot of tips and tricks on how to cut some corners, but not necessarily compromising the health. You could pick up on different things. Like, I'm gonna tell you, I know a nail tech who loves to buy all the latest things that are on the market, and a lot of things that new nail techs get suckered into buying are things that you don't have to spend that money on, like nail wipes. Nail wipes. Why are you running out paying $2-3 for this little pack of nail wipes? Just take paper towel and fold them in half, or make little squares out of them. If you go work at a Vietnamese shop, they're going to teach you stuff like that, how to save money, because it's a business. And a lot of us at first, we're so excited. We just go out buying all this fancy name brand stuff. And, oh, this is for this and this is for that. And if you look at it, it's nothing but some damn paper towel cut in little squares. But they got you paying $3 for a little pack of 100 when you could have bought a whole darn thing of paper towels and cut them up and had them for 6 months. But now you buying these 2 and 3 times a month. Stuff like that, I think is good to learn in a discount salon, because they are masters at cutting costs. And we are running a business, and they will definitely teach you how to cut some costs. Okay? They will have you cutting costs. Now, certain things they do may not be the most sanitary, but things like that, I think they are super smart at being efficient with the budget. You said, I used to not know how to tip, but now that I know better, I tip accordingly. Yes. And sometimes I'm out and my money might be a little funny, but I'm gonna still always tip. And I always keep that in mind when I'm out and I'm being serviced by someone, that I have to account for that in my mind, that is part of the bill. If you only got $50 to spend, you shouldn't be spending 50. You should be spending, 43 or something. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. You too. You know, because I'm in the service industry and I've been a waitress and all of that, and it's important. I'm gonna pull over for a second because my goofy butt keeps driving around the city just burning up gas. I do this here and there because I'm stuck in the house for days and days and days, and I'll just randomly start driving around the city. But I enjoy being in the house, so I'm gonna eat while I read these comments. You said that's one of the reasons why I love tipping. I shock them. And it's funny because where was I? I was someplace and the bill came and I overtipped. I think the bill might have been $23 and I gave the girl 35 or something. We were like, oh my God. I think I was at a bar. And she just kept coming up talking to me. Mm-hmm. It was supposed to say you shouldn't. I couldn't edit it. Please don't get me too harsh. Shut up. Girl, please. Y'all, that's my cousin, by the way. Whatever. I got to have a conversation with you offline anyway. Mm-hmm. It's for cashiers. They would take it from us. The customers would lie and say we was family or friends, and they was like, and they were giving me lunch money or something like that. Wait. Hmm. I look really fat. My face looks so big. That's because I'm from a weird angle. Yeah, I don't get too caught up in the percentages. I can tell you that if when I go to a restaurant or I go to a bar and I sit at the bar, because I will do that by myself, it don't matter. If I'm having good conversation with the bartender, and I usually tell bartenders to make me up a drink, and they'll make me something specialty or craft, crafted by them. I will over tip because it's like it's an experience. And so my thing is, I don't get caught up on a number. Whatever I'm move to give, I give. But some people, I'm starting to realize, just don't know to give. They don't know. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some people really don't know. Some people really don't know. And you will have clients who say they love your work and everything, and they will never tip you. You can't take it personally because they probably just don't know any better. And a lot of them don't consider us the service industry. But you can't go hooking those people up with all this free shit either all the time. Because now you're shorting yourself. Can't make them tip, but don't expect a tip. If you get one, that's good. And some people don't know. Mm-hmm. You want some? Open your mouth. Open. Go ahead. Wanna do it? I forgot to eat, y'all. You see, I skip services until I can tip. I've known my stylist almost 20 years, and that's how I show my appreciation. Yeah, and then here's the thing. I don't think people get mad about it because you being a regular and just coming and paying is appreciation enough. But it's just anytime in the service industry, we are supposed to be tipping. But most people would say to me, like, girl, my money's a little funny today. I had to squeeze this in. I'm like, and I really mean it when I say, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, I've been on here talking for a whole almost 2 hours, burning up my gas, driving around the city. I'm about to go to the craft store because I need to get some popsicle sticks because I use popsicle sticks in my business. And that's another thing. They will sell you popsicle sticks for different things in the beauty industry, but they're really just popsicle sticks that you can buy from the craft store. Like you can get a big box of 500 for little or nothing. But if you go to Sally's, they're gonna sell you 100 for the same price you could have got 500 for. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay, so are there any other questions? Hmm. I was hungry. I'm sorry. So here we go. Um, Working in a discount salon can be beneficial. It will give you some experience. It will teach you how to move faster. Understand that you're going to have to work way harder for your money because they work way harder to make a buck. But you can make money if you're fast. When I say fast, I mean fast. Real fast. Like you can't spend all day shaping the nails and all of that. They know how to skip stuff and make it look good enough to get people out the door. And so I guess I would say the main thing you're going to learn is speed. If you think you're about to go in there and make all this money, unless you are super fast, you might not. You probably won't. You'll make some money and you'll gain some speed. That's what I'm going to say. I would get ready to move around. And their prices are way cheaper. So you got to keep in mind that the average ticket in a discount salon is only going to be the average ticket. Let's just say you do a pedicure and fill-in. That'll be, that's an average service. So a pedicure, let's just say it's $25, and it's probably cheaper than that. $25, and then a fill-in is $23. That's $48. Okay. How long does it take you to do a pedicure and a fill-in with two missing nails? Because those nails forever popping off from those discount places. They forever just popping off. So, right, Lauren, that's what I use it for. You use popsicle sticks to scoop out the product. Yes. I'm thinking about going home and doing the case study tonight because I came out to go to the nail supply, but as you can see, it was too crowded and it was extremely too crowded. So I'm going to be back in the house early. So how long would it take you to do a pedicure and a fill-in? Honestly, how long would it take you? Everybody can answer this question. How long will it take you to do a pedicure and a fill-in? Realistically, not like how long you think. How long will it take you to do a pedicure and a fill-in? I'm going to give an answer that I think is an average answer, because when you're in those places, you're not in your own space. So you can't go and just leave stuff. When you work in a discount salon, you have to clean up after yourself every time you do something. So if you do a pedicure, you can't just leave the pedicure stuff there until you get back to it. When you work in a discount salon, you're working with other people who you all sharing equipment with. So you have to clean up. So I'm saying that to say, you do a pedicure, you need to get this person, move them over to the other chair, but then you need to come back and you need to clean up that station real quick, because if you're busy, Amy needs to get over here and do her client. So you got to calculate that time too, because you got to be cleaning up. So you said 2.5 hours. You said 4.5 hours. Oh my God. I'm waiting to hear the answer from the person who asked this question. How long would it take you to do? Because working discount salon, baby, that's a whole different story, right? They gonna have people for you, and it's gonna be hard work, honey. They gonna work you. Hmm. 4.5 hours, 2.5 hours. We're gonna go in the middle and say 3 hours. Not really the middle, but that was the number I was thinking. 3 hours for a pedicure. You got to clean up, get this person situated in a new station. And this is the other thing too. Yep. Sometimes when you work in discount salons, they all rotate differently, but they will have you working at different stations, which also can slow you up. It can trip you up, because when you're working in your own personal station, you know where everything is. Everything is set up a certain way. And I've worked with many discount salons in 4 different states. Okay. Indiana, not Indiana, 3 different states. I've worked in Chicago, North Carolina, and Atlanta. So I'm not a stranger to working with them. I know exactly how they work. You will work at one and you don't have a station. You have a station, but it's nothing for them in that business, especially when things get busy. It's nothing for them to come sit at your station and do people. Jen, because somebody was sitting at her station, she'll just come sit at your station and do somebody. She'll go grab her drill and her favorite files, just sit at your station and start working on the next person. So that's something that could throw you off too, because now you were at an unfamiliar station and you can't find anything. So you fumbling around looking for stuff at someone's station. Now they're supposed to keep the station set up a certain way, but they don't. They never do. They never do. They're supposed to be set up a certain way, but they don't. So we're gonna say 3 hours to make it a round even number. And then we said a pedicure and a fill-in. So we're gonna round this up again. We're gonna round this up again just to make the numbers nice and smooth so you can get what I'm saying. So 3 hours, and then the pedicure and fill-in is $50 instead of 48. Okay. So $50 divided by 3 is how much? Come on now, somebody tell me the answer. That's so easy. $50 divided by 3 is how much? Y'all gonna make me pull out my calculator? So 1666, okay, whatever. I wasn't even, I'm rounding out numbers. So we're gonna say 1650, right? 1650. So basically you're saying you make 1650 an hour, right? That's how it looks. But that's not how it looks because you forgot to factor in your commission. So how much are you really working with? $50 to do a pedicure and a full set. I mean, a fill-in. $50, right? You're only going to get 60% commission. Most places. It's rare that you get 70. You got to be great to be doing 70. But most places are going to be, you're going to get 60% of that number. And some places might give you 50. If you're a newbie, they might just give you 50. But we're going to say 60. So 60%. So of that $50, you have to take out $20 because that's taking out 40%. So you're only working with $30. $30. And if it took you 3 hours on average, you're only making $10 an hour. Do you get what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? See? You're making below minimum wage. This is why discount salons work so fast. They cannot afford to do that slow. They will have done 2 people in that time because they at least want to get $20 an hour because that is the average commission, 60%, and those are the average numbers. And even $20 an hour is low, but that's what they're striving for at the very least. And that is why they're working so fast because you're looking at the price, but you got to take out the commission. And then you got to calculate how fast or how slow you move. That's why you would literally have to increase your speed by 50%. So if you're going to do a fill-in and a pedicure, your pedicure needs to be done, polished. They need to be out the door, especially on a basic pedicure because these are basic pedicure prices. They need to be polished in 25 minutes. You need to have that pedicure done in 25 minutes. Then it's going to take you another 5 minutes to get them up out that chair over to the other chair. And then you got to come back and rinse down that station, spread down, and get it ready in case somebody else needs to use it. Right. And then you need to come over here and start working on them. So now you give yourself another, if they're just doing a basic fill-in with 2 repairs, 45 minutes, another 45 minutes to do those 2 repairs and get them filled in and get that gel slapped on there, 45 minutes. So now you're at an hour and 15 minutes. So an hour and 15 minutes, and that's a $50 ticket. You got 30. So now you just made 30 in an hour and 15 minutes. That's kind of how they work versus what we are used to working at. So when you start working in those places, if you really want to see some real money, that's the type of speed that they're working at to make the money that they make, right? You said, I know you suggest a newbie starting a salon. Do you recommend working in a discount salon? Do you recommend a specific type of salon that will help build a proper foundation? It depends on the person. See, stuff like that is not a straightforward answer. It depends on your skill set. Depends on where you are. Like I said, a lot of people know how to do nails. They know nothing about how to do real nails. They just know how to put on acrylic. And to me, those are 2 different things. Like a lot of people are not skilled. They're not properly rounded. So it's just like, I think that you should work in a regular salon, but some people want to go into a discount salon. And I'm just saying that a discount salon will be really good to teach you how to get your speed together, because they'll run circles around you. And I wouldn't stay there forever. I wouldn't. I would just try to work in a regular salon. But again, it depends on the person's situation and what they know. Because if you're going to go work in a regular salon, it just depends. It depends. What are you good at? Like, do you just do, if you only do acrylic with all this design work, you don't really know how to do nails all the way around, then I guess you could go work in a discount salon, because they'll just have you doing acrylic all day. You're probably not going to do that many designs like you think, though. You're just going to be slapping acrylic on all day. So if anything, it's going to make you become a pro at acrylic. So it's like, what are you really trying to accomplish? And what are you really, really good at already? Now, going to work in a spa, who cares if you know how to do acrylic? Because you're not going to be really doing acrylic in a spa. You're going to be doing natural nails. So if you can't polish and you don't know how to give a really good manicure, that's probably going to hurt your feelings real fast. But it depends on what your goals are, you know? So it kind of depends. This person is specifically asking about working a discount salon. I'm just trying to help them wrap their mind around what to expect. Because it's all going to depend on her speed. And in discount salons too, I got to say this too. You're going to run into some of everything, just depending on the area. If you go into the hood or someplace in an urban area, you're going to be running into people coming in with long nails all the way out here. And their prices are too cheap for me to be doing fill-ins on all that stuff for no, like a fill-in on nails this long, they only charging like $30. I'm not doing all that work on those long ass nails for $30. No. And then you got to take out the commission on that. So now you're only making $28 and you sat there and did a fill-in on nails this long. Shh, please. Length adds on time. So I just like discount salons. If you're not super fast, you're not going to make the money you think you're going to make. You got to be super fast to make money in there. And then it's going to make you start putting out sloppy work. And a lot of them don't care. I personally care about what I put out. So that will bother me. So when you working in there, you really open to the public. And depending on the area you in, they're going to come in with them long nails. Long nails with two of them all blinged out. And it's going to be just a simple fill-in. You're going to be so mad because the price is going to be so cheap. So cheap. And when you start calculating in your head while you're working on them how much you are making, you're going to be so pissed because you're going to be thinking, dang, if I was working on my own, this girl would have been paying me way more money. This fill-in alone, the fill-in alone would have been $65. But you're sitting up in a discount salon with their discounted prices, giving quality work, but you're working around a whole bunch of non-quality people charging non-quality prices. It's a lot to think about. So it depends on where you go. I'm glad it helped, but I just like to be transparent. And everybody don't like my transparency. I don't care. It's real, and I know what I'm talking about. I'm glad that I was able to help Shannon. Oh my God, I'm stuffed. I ate 3 shrimp and a double cheeseburger, and that's it. I'm done. Hey, Tasha. Yes, long time no see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna go get some popsicle sticks, drop off this gift to my niece. Then I may come back in and I went and dropped off packages. Okay. I guess that's what I had to come out and do. I've been trying to stay out of these streets spending money. Mm-hmm. So I want you all to be transparent with yourself. Be transparent with those around you. In terms of tipping, some people are just simply cheap. But some people don't really know. And that's something I had to come to the conclusion. Some people simply don't know to tip. If people are not tipping you, you definitely shouldn't be giving away anything for free. You just do the best work you can, and you appreciate them for who they are or whatever. And the people that take care of you, you take care of them. That's the nice way I could say it, Lauren. Just rush nails. I literally can say, when a person sits in my chair, I can always tell if they went to an Asian salon instantly, and I can tell if they went to a independent technician, because a work all looks different. I know I could, because I do work over other people's work. But I can sit, when they sit in the chair, I know where they went. I'm like, oh, you went to an Asian salon, whatever. Yeah, I went here. I just go wherever I'm out when I'm out. Blah, blah, blah. And I could look and say, oh, you went to another independent nail tech. Yeah, this girl, and I just know those two types of work look different. And even sometimes the independent nail tech's work looks bad. And I'm like, wow, this is a nail tech who jumped in to do nails, and they like to do designs. So they slapped a whole bunch of designs on top of some acrylic that is not right. Acrylic missing all on the sides here. It's lumpy towards the end. It's a big hump on the up here on every nail. Then it flips up towards here. But it's a whole bunch of designs covering it up. The designs is on there perfectly, but it's on top of terrible, terrible acrylic. So now I got to spend all this time bringing it back to life. And I will point that out. I will say this acrylic needs work, and I'm going to have to go in and rebalance it. And to be honest with you, we should be charging people more, because that's more than a fill-in. A fill-in is just really taken care of up here. But when you go over other people's work, you got to be like reshaping and restructuring and put the concave back in, because it's so many people, like I said, that skip over so many essential steps in learning this craft, that is, they feel like as long as they can do designs and they got people coming to them, they good. You're not good. You still have a lot to learn. You can't substitute good design work for good quality work. Then when I go to remove the designs, I see that half the acrylic is lifted, half of it ain't even attached on the side, because it's so unbalanced that it could not survive the person's daily activity. And so it's lifted all around. It's like, it's so much to it. It's so much to it. Yeah. Munity, I know by the rings of fire in their nails. Like, we know, us seasoned nail techs, we know if you exactly where you've been going to get your nails done. It looks good to you from afar, but we look at it like, oh my God, they know how to do designs, but they still got a lot to learn. They knew. And I always say, when I get to talking to people, I can't wait for this case study, because I know exactly which one I'm going to do. Speaking of this, I'll start talking to them, and they'll say, yeah, she just started doing nails like this summer. And I know just from looking at their nails, like they are good at designs, but they haven't pushed back no cuticles. Cuticles ain't been ever cut, and God knows when. I just know. And no acrylic on the sides of the nail. The nail has no concave to it. The support of the nail is all the way up top when it should be in the middle. Like, yeah. And that's going to lead me to tonight's case study. What did I say I was going to call it? What goes around comes around. I think that's the name of it. What goes around comes around. Throwing up gang signs and whatnot. Lord, you funny. Yep. People not holding the drill in the proper way. Like I told you, somebody came to me for a one-on-one session. This was some months ago. And the first thing, she had all this equipment. Oh my gosh, she had all this equipment. She had every nail tip, every glitter. I swear, she came up the stairs. She couldn't even carry all that stuff to my place. She had so much stuff that she came to my house with, so I could give her an acrylic session. And this happens all the time. People come to me they done spent so much money. This is why I don't feel sorry for people, because you just went and spent all these hundreds of dollars on this, and you skipped over the most important part, which is the fundamentals. So I was proud of her though. She came with all this stuff, and the first thing was, I told her, show me what she know. It was her drill. As soon as she turned the drill on, she couldn't even keep the drill. It was like As soon as she'll do it, she'll do something. The drill was like, it was like she couldn't control the drill. I said, hold up, what you doing? What are you doing? Wait, hold on. And I was like, you got the drill in reverse. She didn't even know that. How are you out here doing people and you don't even know how to use your drill properly? How do you have all this stuff and you haven't even learned how to use your drill? You don't realize that the drill is skipping because you're working with it in reverse. I'm a lefty, so I work with the drill in reverse. But she wasn't, and she was working with it like a left-hand person. So that's why that was one of the main things before we even got started. And this is what I'm saying. It's important to spend money. If you're going to spend some money, the first thing you want to spend money on is the basics, not step Z. Spend money on step A. You know, polishing, shaping, how to use a drill, how to use nippers, how to push back a damn cuticle. What part of the cuticle should you be cutting and should you not be cutting? Because there is a part that you should cut and you should not be cutting. So anyway, it was so funny because instead of just, this is what she did. She said, oh my God, for real? And then the drill is still running. She proceeds to flip the switch on the darn drill box. She proceeds to flip the switch to change the direction while it's still running. Who does that? A person who does not know. You never do that. You do not flip your drill backwards and forwards while it's running. That is a surefire way to burn out your drill. Break it, really. That's like driving down the street. Let me tell you, that's exactly like this. That's like driving down the street, driving with the car and drive, and you literally don't hit the brakes and nothing. You just put the car in reverse while you driving down the street. That is exactly what the hell you are doing if you do that with your drill. And that is what nail techs who are skipping over learning the basics are doing. Crazy stuff like that. She literally did that. I was like, did she just do that? Girl, that's what you're doing. Could you imagine driving down the street? You're like, oh, I need to back up. You don't even hit the brakes and nothing. You will burn that transmission straight the hell out. That's exactly what you are doing when you do that. So it was funny because she came for an acrylic lesson, but it's like, we need to start from the beginning. This is called a drill. This is the base. I had to go back to the beginning. And at the end of that, she was just like, wow. At the end of that, I had her laying acrylic. At the end of that, she was damn near in tears. At the end of that, she could not believe it because she finally invested into something other than designs. She invested in the real education. Those are the real steps where you say you really want this, when you really, really take it seriously, but beyond the fun part of it. You got to know what you're doing on a basic level. So, of course, she couldn't use the drill because she was using it. She didn't have it set up properly. I've had people using brushes that are like, it's not even the right brush to lay acrylic, or a person who's using nippers that came from the freaking Dollar Tree. You're never going to be able to do a good manicure or do anything on nails with some nippers from the Dollar Tree. That's just for somebody who wants to keep something at their house. As a professional, do you even know what to buy? So when a lot of times when I get new people, they come to me, it's like, you want me to show you this advanced stuff, but honey, no, we need to spend today on this basic stuff because this basic stuff is going to make the advanced stuff easier. You're having a hard time with this stuff because you're trying to skip over this. You said the acrylic don't be formed to the tip. Girl, all type of stuff. And that's when I know they went to an independent nail tech because the discount salons, they're going to make it look good enough to get you out the door. What do you do when someone has no nail plate at all to work with? Usually when a person, I call them booty diggers, and I know that's not a proper term, but that's what I always say to myself. Like, if they have like no nail plate, I'm so ignorant sometimes. That's okay. This is not an official video. This is Shecago after dark in the lights. If someone has no nail plate at all, what is happening 9 times out of 10, their cuticles, they haven't had a manicure in God knows when, probably ever. This is why I'm telling nail techs too, who aspiring nail techs, you got to know how to do a manicure, and you got to know when to do a manicure, because the truth of the matter is a person like that needs a manicure. And I tell them, look, we're going to have to spend a little more time prepping you. I got to really go in and do a little more prep work on you. I'm going to do a manicure, and I got to do a little more of a manicure than normal. I might even soak their fingers and push back, because those people usually have that cuticle growth covering about 30% of their nail plate. When you find people that don't have a nail bed, look at them. Look at look at that. That cuticle can be pushed back so far that it literally increases a flap of skin. So when you push it back, it's going to literally have a flap of skin sitting up like this. And although you got what is it? I get them mixed up because it's been so long in school. Epinicium, hyponychium, whatever. Both of them are going to be pushed up. And in that case, you're going to have to cut both, because the overgrowth is so advanced. You have to cut it. And usually you get about a 30% larger nail bed to work with when you do that. I'm telling you, but you got to really be aggressive. And that's a person that you're going to have to spend some time and soak the cuticle and push it back. That is a person who has neglected their nail bed. I promise you, I know exactly what you're talking about. And at that point, another thing you have to do is when you put the tips on, and I've seen people talk about, oh, you got to put an extra piece of acrylic at the edge. I've never done all that. I'm not doing all that. If I start doing all that, putting extra fake fake nails to put the nail on, I'm gonna charge you way more. Like, that's, I ain't saying it's a bad way, but it's like, to me, way more work than just working with what's there. So when you push that cuticle back, you're gonna get about 20 to 30% more nail bed to work with. And then on top of that, you're going to take the nail tip. I wish I had one here. And you're going to need to, you know how it has the well, like this is the nail tip, and it has a well like this, and it comes down, right? And it's a well, you're going to have to cut that well off, and you're going to have to place it straight. So this is what I do. Then I'm going to place the tips on their nails straight, because that well is going to, it's going to kind of dig into the sides, and then the bottom part of that well is going to fall off. So basically, so I can get a better foundation on the nail bed, I'm going to cut the well off, and I'm going to make the tip straight, and then I'm going to glue it on there. So a thick part of the nail can be directly on the existing nail bed that's available. I hope I answered that question. Um, this lady came in, and that's another thing. When you work in the discount salons, Lauren, you're not working in a discount salon, but when you work in a discount salon, especially if you're in a busy area, you're gonna come into some of everything. You got to be able to think fast and move. This lady came in the other day missing a whole nail but wanted acrylic. In that case, what some people would tell you to do, and this is what I was talking about earlier, you just put a form. And that's where that extra skill comes in too, because I always do keep nail forms, and you will run into people here or there who don't have a nail. They might have slammed their finger in a door and the nail never grew back, and their skin there, and they will tell you, well, the last guy I went to, or the last girl I went to, they used to do it. And basically the quickest way to do that is you're going to have to slap a nail form on. Now, I'm not good at doing sculpture nails. I've tried it over the years. It's just not my thing. But I do know sculpture nails enough to do that. And that's the only time I pull out a sculpture nail, is because I have to do that. So you would need to always keep some forms. You need to keep some forms on you at all times just for that. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Even if you get it on there, just keep patting it in place. You put the form on there, clamp it down, and you just keep patting it in place. It may be lumpy, it may be bumpy, but it'll be on there. Just make sure if they're dehydrated. You're still going to buff down that skin on the nail. Is no nail bed, so you're just going to still buff down the skin. You're going to wipe it down with alcohol. You're going to I would still even put some primer on. If you have some non-acidic primer, you want to do that, because it's going directly on the skin. And then you are going to use the form, and you're going to sculpt it as best you can, and you're just going to spend a little more time shaping it. But that's how you handle a person with no nail bed at all. You said, tell them, what's your suggestion on gaining trust for potential clientele? I'm a home tech with a cleaner station and tools in these fast stations. Thank you for your time. Branding. What does your social media look like? You know, You just got to get the name out there, because people good, all you need is a few good people. They're going to always bring more people to you. So I'm not even going to lie to you. My station, I have this right here, the 30-day nail technician challenge right here. This talks about how to get yourself out there, how to brand yourself, what to look for, thinking about who your ideal client looks like. But I guess I'm gonna be honest with you, because I started this video out talking about transparency. Anybody who comes to me will tell you that my room can be dusty at times. It's not dirty, but it's dusty, because sometimes I get to working so much, and I do work with a lot of acrylic, so there's always dust flying everywhere, and it, even if I wipe it down, the next day it's back dusty, and it gets dusty. Busy nail techs, sometimes we get a little dusty. I vacuum and everything every night and all of that. I try to stock stuff, but I'm just working so fast and doing so much, because I like to move fast, honey. I like to move fast. So, if that's the angle you want to take, then that's the angle your brand should reflect. So I guess my question is, have you taken time to brand yourself? And what does your brand look like? Because throwing out a brand, it has to have a focus. So what is it? If you want to take that angle, that is an angle. I'm cleaner, I'm cleaner, I'm cleaner, I'm this. It's an experience coming to me. I offer you sparkling water. I rub your feet longer than most. I use hot wax. Like, it all has to come together some type of way, because believe it or not everyone is as concerned about how clean it is. You get some people, but majority of people, they expect there to be some sort of dust and stuff, uh, to a certain degree. Now, if you got chicken bones and stuff everywhere, that's a different story. I thought it was a perfect analogy. She was burning her drill up. Yes, throwing the car in reverse while driving straight down the street. Exactly. That's what that's just the girl. Did you just hit reverse to hit it while it turned? Don't ever do that, girl. And she had a nice drill. No. Yeah, you could use builder gel, or but you're gonna have to build it. But you can do it. You have to be careful though, as if there's a lot of skin, they're more sensitive to reacting to the product. Well, that's the thing. That's another thing. That's where your professional expertise comes in, and everybody wants to jump in and start doing acrylic without learning about these things. And what you just said is correct. You have to be knowledgeable enough to assess whether or not you can even service that finger, because me saying what I said is a little different from a person where it just happened. Like, if they just had a fight or something. Girl, I got into a fight this weekend, and then I had to help beat up my friend's boyfriend because he smacked her, and we got into it, and he pushed me up against the car, and then she just ripped out, my whole nail came off. Okay, now it's fresh flesh there. It is just nasty. She like, it's clean though. The doctor, they didn't put stitches in it. Now, something like that, you cannot service them. But if you have a person, it's different from a person who, like, something happened when they were a child, and I have a relative like that. Her finger was slammed in the door as a child. So it's like, I've seen a few people, like, something happened years ago that just caused a permanent deformity. And in that case, that skin is really tough. It's not really sensitive like you think in most cases. And to cover yourself, you can ask them, do you have any allergies or sensitivities? So, yeah. Oh, honey, your nails said bomb book. Yay. Yeah, I think it's pretty good. And once I move and get settled, there will be many more coming, that are, breaking things down even further. But that's the thing, like, I can give you a fish from the sea, or I can teach you how to become a fisherman. So you can catch fish anytime you want, you know? And going back to that tax thing with the tax group, that's why no one answered that girl's question. I'm sure she was mad at the group because nobody answered. And that was their way of saying, we're not just going to give you all this for free. We're here to help each other and to help you learn how to build this skill. And I'm sure she was mad. I'm sure she was mad. But every time somebody in that group say that, like, hey, y'all, they come in the group saying this too. Hey, I got $500. What should I buy? And those people get salty because the seasoned people in the group will say, you don't want to just buy something before doing your due diligence and learning more about why you're buying it. Because I can tell you to buy something, and then what if it tanks the next day? You're going to get mad at me. And a lot of people don't want to hear that. Like, we're here to help you learn how to run this, how to make money in this. I'm not going to just tell you buy Ford Motor stock. No, I'm going to teach you how to pick stocks. It's a difference. So, yeah, that's it. I think that's it. Oh, wait, let's see. You said, damn, that's scary. I saw a tech on Facebook use a low grit sanding bit on a natural nail. I do that all the time. What's so scary about it? You just said the answer. You said you watched her use a low grit, which is the white one. I use those on everybody's nails. If you have you ever seen me prep a nail, it's very rare that I go live online, but I could put on tips like that. I know people that say they take 30, 45 minutes just to get the tips on. The acrylic is already drying. I'm on shaping by 30 minutes. Um, you can use a low grit sanding bit on the natural nail, but the key to it is the speed of the drill, and the key to it is understanding the pressure you are using. So if you're using natural, you're using low pressure, a low speed, and a low. You have control. That's what the low sanding bit is used for. That's a good bit to use if you know how to use it, and it will increase your speed. See, things like that you want to know, because you go working in a discount salon, they're using, don't you see them using the bits all the time? They're not necessarily tearing up the person's nails, because a lot of them know how to adjust their speed. I mean, adjust their touch. I go over and I'm literally etching it, like, and I do it so fast. Zzz, 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 zzz. Zoop, 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 zoop. And I could do that 10 times. I'm already about to lay acrylic. I'm done. For me to etch, once I put the tips on, and I'm going to cut and get a general shape in there. And for me to etch all 10 fingers, it's not even going to take me 2 minutes. 2 minutes, not 20, two. So that's what, to me, that bit is for. And I don't cut people or anything with it. And I use it on a very low setting. Very low setting. You said, I'll be the fisherman for 100. Thank you. Yes. Like, I don't know why people just want to know the last part. I want to be like skilled. I want to be like, no matter what, I can survive in this business. Um, you have to know what you're doing. Using that file is okay, but it's not for the beginner. Yeah. So you could do it by hand, but I'm gonna tell you something too. I see a lot of people, period, just not paying attention to all. See, this is really a skill. We are artists, right? So you can mess somebody up and cut them all up with a file too. I see nail techs. It looks painful. The way that they're using that darn file, it looks painful. They're like, I'm like, why are they using so much pressure on this person's nail? Like, why are you using so much pressure? Do they? And I noticed that when people have acrylic that's lifting, new nail techs, when the acrylic is lifting, they feel like going in harder and being more aggressive, filing that person's nail is going to make it stick more. No, it's a combination. It's a combination of things: application, prep, dehydration, and placement of acrylic, as well as thickness of acrylic. All those things come together. But I've seen nail techs do a lot of damage on natural nails with a file. So it's not the file per se, it's the technician's skill knowing how to use these things. That's what it is. For real. And I see people argue about that in these Facebook groups. You can't use it. Yes, you can. If you're skilled, you know what you're doing. That's what they're for. The fine is to be used on a natural nail. You can. 30 years in, I'm telling you, you can. I do it all the time, all the time, all the time. And my clients don't have rings of fire and all that in their nails. They don't. Uh, yeah, you can. You can. Just try it. Try it. And here's the thing too, with using the drill, you gotta be smooth. You gotta your wrist has to be like this. See, artists, when you look at a painter, when they're painting, it's like when they're painting, they're very light with their hands, because you have to become, you literally have to become mind body connected. You have to become mind body connected. True artists are mind body connected. And so when you're new at something, you're overthinking things. And that's what causes you to overfile to hurt someone, because you're not really mind body connected. You're not confident in your skills yet. So you tend to overcompensate, overthink it, which causes you to be too rough. When I'm working on a client, especially when I'm in a groove doing people back to back, I'm in a zone. I could be talking to them or I'll have them watching a movie or something, but I'm in a zone. It's like, if you ever seen my favorite movie, Biker Club, they talk about how when the guy smoker's about to do a race or whatever, he goes into a tunnel vision. I said this before in the video. When I'm working, I'm really in a zone. I just do it. It's like I just flow. And it's like my hand becomes the drill bit. The drill hand literally becomes one with my hand. I know this sounds cheesy to some people, but it's true. It's like it's an extension of my hand. And so I just know how much pressure. I might grip it a little bit more when I hit that corner, and I'm gonna loosen it up and let it fall. I just know. I just know. I just know my drill. That's why it's important to have good nippers and drills that you feel comfortable, and acrylic brush. Once you get a good quality, your main tools, you have to become one with it. It's just like driving a car. When you drive your car, you know how it's going to go. You don't think that hard. You're just driving. But if I said, hey, you could drive my car today, you're going to have to pay a little more attention to driving. So you might be a little more nervous driving a car because you don't really know how the car brakes as much, how it accelerates. You're not one with that car. But when you drive your car, you just know. So you drive much smoother. You just drive better. You know, like even when you're trying to squeeze between something that might look tight, think about it. If you're trying to squeeze between a space, driving your car, you could just do it because you don't have to look over and be like, how wide is this car? You just do it. You just kind of like, you just drive and you just squeeze through the space. If you were driving my car that day, you're going to be trying to get through the space like this because you're not quite sure how wide this car is. You're not used to it yet. The same thing goes with using our tools. It just flows. It just flows. It really does. Thank you, Chicago. You've truly been missed y'all too. But wait till I move. I'm gonna be on here way more, all in your face all day. They like about to fight. Huh. Over filing can cause lifting. Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's a good balance. It's a balance. And really, if you took time to clean up those cuticles and everything, by the time you get to that sanding bit, you're really just etching the nail, because once you etch, dehydrate, and prime, that's all you need. Excuse me. No, you don't need a heavy filing at all. It's really just etching, because etching is all you need to open it up. To open it up. Try it on yourself to get the feeling. Mm-hmm. Something like that can't be taught. Something like that comes from you finding stuff you like, and then it comes from just practice, just from habit. It just naturally, I'm about to drive now. It just naturally comes to you. Like you just naturally start to know what to do. Just what to do. It's yeah. You have to really develop the artist in you. You have to let the artist in you. So for some of us, it's more naturally just ingrained in us than others. But everybody can teach themselves to be a really good artist, because you're being an artist. And I think that some people want to think that somebody can show you how to do nails one time and then they're just this fabulous nail tech. And it's like, it's a certain amount of skill or something that has to come out of you to be good. As you have to, in order to be good or to be great, you have to have a certain level of confidence. And it's really with anything, being a oh thank you, it's really with being a barber, anything, a hairstylist, anything. Like, to be great, to be good, it's like it's really all up here, because the more confident you are up here, it translates into your work. You'll just start doing things. You'll notice that as you start to work, you'll start to do things that nobody even taught you. No one even taught you to do that. It's just like you are so confident, and you see something, and that skill set just starts to naturally develop on its own. It's hard to explain. Like, Every nail tech does something that no other nail tech does, but it works for them. And it's their little twist on something to make their work look the way it does. You know, it's some things you can't be taught. It's just gonna come out at the right time. So I feel like I'm just talking y'all to death. I haven't really gotten anything done today. But I'm gonna get some popsicle sticks. I bet you that. I've been thinking about it. So what did I say? What goes around comes around. Yeah, that's the case study. We're gonna come back on tonight, probably about 7:30. Yeah, what goes around comes around. We'll do that. Yeah, when I get in the house. So y'all ready? Y'all ready to talk about it? It's not even a bad case study. It's just something to think about, because I don't want it to be just all complaining and ranting. But when I tell you what's happening today is kind of annoying, because social media is a curse and a beast. Because social media has everybody and their mama want to be a boss, and it's creating a weird environment of um, a generation of people who want to fast track everything. And it's making a lot of people lose respect for a lot of industries that a lot of people put a lot of sweat and tears into. Everybody want to be a boss because of social media. They just put it out there like it's nothing. And it's just like the people who really get it and really want to do it are like, that is not, stop giving it a bad reputation. So, it's causing the business to be harder than it needs to be, even with dealing with clients. It makes, oh, my hood is open. I opened my hood. Okay, didn't know that. So it's causing the business to be harder than it needs to be. So it's not a bad one. It's just one that kind of gives. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna even word that one, because it's not it's something that happened, but I just want to know if people experience this. How did my hood open? I guess I hit it. I hit that lever. Did I? Mm, okay. I guess I hit the lever. I thought my hood looked a little raised. I think I did it when I was giving that little example. Yeah. Wait, let me stop completely here because I got a ticket here before. I tried to argue with that judge. I got 2 tickets, and she recognized me from before, and she laughed, and I laughed, and I thought I was joking with her enough to get off on one, and I did not. So I had to pay that money. Ugh! So I got 2 tickets right there before. And my first argument, she was like, "That's not gonna work. We already talked about this." I'm like, "Okay, fine, fine." That was $200 I ended up having to pay. Okay, you said you're ready. Okay, so we're going to come on this evening and discuss this. It's not really a case study. It's just it's a good lesson. It's a lesson to keep you all motivated. It's a lesson to understand everything that I'm saying about being transparent. Stay committed to your brand or whatever it is. Be anxious for nothing. Be anxious for nothing, or else you will have anxiety. Don't be anxious, because patience is everything in business. Patience. If you set yourself up right, the patience will pay off, and you may not see it right away, but over time, you'll see it. Everybody want to be an overnight success. That ain't how it really goes. That's not how it really goes. Only people that's making real fast money nowadays are these card crackers, okay? And half of them don't know they going down because the feds is definitely watching, but they'll sit there and build a case on you for years and get deep in your ring and take all y'all down. But them the only people really making fast money. Everything else takes time. All right, so I'm gonna catch you all later. I'm gonna go in the craft store and get some popsicle sticks and stuff. So, all right, thank you for watching. Bye. Let me hit my little outro, right?